Hello, welcome. Well, we got the lights up and stuff. Got the music playing. Doing big things over here. Doing big things. Oh, 1 second. All right, what's up, everyone? What's up, Derek, Robert, Charles, Jacob, Snoopy, Ian, Mariox, Philly, Mrs. Fuck You. Who's Mr. Fuck You? Michelle, Derek, I already said Derek, Scott, Irie Mars, John, Blizmo, Hot Cheetos, Matthew Hennigan, Carl, Sean, Rolandus, Ian, Patrick, Paul, channel member Paul. What's good, Paul? What's going on, everyone? It's the holiday season. It is. I don't have a Santa hat. That's a PNG. Are you crazy? Can't afford that. What's up, Emilio? Element, you're not right. This whole year flew by, man. It's been a very fast moving year. What up, Glenn? Evil face bad. Hey, you know, I'll take a nice 8-game win streak. The Toronto game, you know, didn't go our way. I think we'll bounce back tonight, though. The Bulls have a bunch of players missing. Caruso's usually a thorn in our side defensively, and he's not even playing tonight, so this should be an easy dub. Appreciate you, Joshua. Yeah, if you haven't watched the Balon video, please do, because that was a nightmare to make. I don't know. Max is here. Dreamcast guy. Oh, I gotta turn your audio on. Okay, you're good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm talking soft.
No, you're good. You're good. I had the desktop muted because I also have Feliz Navidad playing on infinite loop.
That sounds horrible. Why would you do that?
I like the song, man.
Like infinite loop, like the song though. That's
yeah. Well, I mean, it's the instrumental, so it's okay.
Is that okay?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Was 2022 as bad as 2021? I don't necessarily think any years are like quote unquote bad, because there's bad shit in every year. But I think 2022, from my perspective, of a business perspective, I would say it was kind of worse than 2021, because 2021 you still had a lot of surprises get announced and there was a lot of interesting things happening on the video game side of things, and 2022 was very by the books. You know, you kind of knew what was coming out. There wasn't much that was rocking that boat. There wasn't much that was rocking the boat as far as rumored for 2023 that we didn't know about. You know, it was just kind of a weird year.
I saw a bunch of people saying that they thought this was one of the quietest years in gaming in like 15 years. Like that there wasn't really any major shakeup. I mean, one of the biggest stories in all of this year was the Bungie acquisition, and that it wasn't really that big of a deal. It was closed in like 3 months.
Yeah, like I don't like, there just wasn't. I guess it's kind of because you have Sony and Microsoft kind of settling into their consoles, which launched too early, so the software wasn't necessarily there. And then you have Nintendo with this dated hardware that, yes, it's still selling well, but from a playing games perspective, it's obviously showing its age. And then you don't have Nintendo really doing anything with that. And then even, you know, across the board, it was, I don't know, it's just kind of a weird year, I felt. Yeah, I saw a sports story shadow drop today. I might snag that. Joshua Finzi, $5 donut. Ever had an anxiety dream where someone moved all the stuff in your house and then you can't find anything? That's what's happening right now because they're upstairs cleaning. And I remember like a couple months ago, I had found all my Game Gear games and I was buying a few extra Game Gear games and I had them all in a bag and I could not find that bag. And I was like, where's the bag? And I looked all over the house and I could not find the bag. And I was like, these motherfuckers stole my Game Gear collection. And then I randomly was sitting on the couch because I have like one of those like kind of L-shaped couches, but it kind of sticks out a little bit, so it's more of just like an E without a middle piece. And like I just randomly laid on some of the cushions in one of the corners, and I was like, what the hell is behind this pillow? And I looked behind the pillow and there was a bag of games, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, no, I'll play Monster Hunter Rise on Xbox because it's on Game Pass, and because I really just want to see how it looks. I mean, I put a lot of fucking time into that game. I just want to see how different. Everyone should try to clean their own houses. I mean, yes, but I'm creating jobs.
That's why I own nothing. I don't have, all I do is sweep. I don't own anything, so slowly there's nothing else to do.
You're good, D-More. Don't worry about it. Yeah, John. Sports Story shadow dropped today. Another weird handling of that game because you would think it would want to get hyped up. That was one of like the bigger indie titles for the Switch this year, and then they're just like doing their stupid little indie showcase over the holiday. I don't understand Nintendo right now, bro. No, A-Rod, I haven't had a basement league. And I'm surprised because fucking, I figured we've been having a lot of crazy, dude, last night was insane with the wind. Like, I was laying in bed. I went to bed at like 1. I was like, I'm gonna get a nice, good night's sleep. And it's just like, it sounded like somebody was like throwing shit at my like window on my sliding back porch door, which is attached to the bedroom. And I was like, holy fuck. And I'm a very light sleeper, so I could not fall asleep. So eventually at 5 a.m., I was like, fuck this. I went downstairs. I slept on the couch for like 2 hours. I went upstairs. I slept on the bed for an hour, and here I am.
Sleep in the next room.
That's also upstairs, though. And I feel like the wind was hitting upstairs worse than it was hitting. I should have came and slept in the basement, slept on the fucking recliner. Jeff D, Merry Christmas. Hope all goes well outside of the Knicks losing to the Sixers. Trust the process. Well, see, I feel like Harden is going to eat too much food today, and he'll be kind of lethargic. As long as Maxey doesn't play, I feel okay.
Somehow, my roommate's dog just came in my office, and I had a bottle of Tabasco sauce on the edge of my desk, and he jumped up, knocked it off. It hit the ground, and the top exploded off, and it just sprayed a bunch of fucking hot sauce in a straight line across my green screen. So I'm like, well, I am maybe gonna have to order a new green screen because that's very red. I'm not sure how the fuck that's gonna come out.
Yeah, that sounds like a pain in the ass.
I mean, it's just like 5 drops, but I'm like, those are pretty damn dark.
Antonio with the dono. Hey, RGT, just got into a Genesis kick. Can you recommend a game that is must play besides your Sonic, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, etc.? Thanks. Yeah. No matter what Mr. James Rolfe says, Garfield Caught in the Act is a quality title. I saw he did a Garfield video the other day. Cool Spot is really good. Earthworm Jim, Aladdin, pretty much any Disney game is actually like a fucking banger on the Genesis. Rocket Knight Adventures. That's a little pricey.
Rocket Knight, yeah.
Haunting starring Poltergeist is a really weird, interesting game that not a lot of people talk about, where you're basically trying to scare people out of a house. So it's kind of like a precursor to Geist, and you can like take stuff. No, the Balan stream doesn't exist. It's the review on the channel. It made me want to end everything.
For Genesis, I definitely gotta say Phantasy Star, and there's an aftermarket homebrew game that, in my opinion, is a fucking masterpiece called Pier Solar and the Great Architects.
Yeah, I played that out of the. It came out on the Wii U too, didn't it? I think they released it on everything.
It came out of everything afterward, yeah. But they first released it on the Genesis, and it sold so well. It is the biggest Genesis game ever made, like from raw size. They invented a bigger cartridge to put it on.
That was it's Watermelon, wasn't it?
Watermelon Games, yep.
Fucking Fonzie, that dude's nuts.
Yeah,
What's
he
up?
mailed me a Christmas card.
Did he really? What's up, Dwan? Appreciate you, guy, for checking out the Balan video. Merry Christmas, boy. Merry Xmas from Jalen. Appreciate you, brother. Merry Christmas, boys. Grabbing Sports Story ASAP. How's your project card doing? So I contacted the mechanic where it's currently sitting at, and he said, I haven't really done much with it. I plan on doing it after Christmas. And I was like, that's fine. I don't really care. So I'll know more next week. Hopefully we get that starting in motion. I'm feeling confident about it, though. I really don't think it's going to be too bad, because the engine itself seems fine. It's just not getting what it needs in terms of airflow and probably fluids and shit like that. So Crusader Ascenti is a good game. What else is there? Quackshot. I mean, that's a... You know, Mortal Kombat 2, because it has the Frugality in it, and that's exclusive to the Genesis version. I did not watch the Biggie concert on Meta. That sounds bizarre. Bro, Balan is literally... It's literally the worst thing I've ever played.
It's very unplayable. It's very weird. I think somebody went into the code and said that the game was definitely supposed to be like half the size, and then they invented a bunch of new levels, so they had to make more costumes. You probably didn't get this far, but the last half of the game, it's all repeat costumes. Like, they look different, but you'll be like, now you're a bat, but the bat has the same powers as like the cheetah. It's like, well, okay, these are literally just exact repeats.
I actually did. The only thing I didn't do was where you had to get every single trophy in order to unlock the final thing. I was like, no, you can go to fucking hell. There's no fucking... It's literally a Metroidvania where you constantly lose your powers. It's like, how does this make sense?
Yeah. I just want to say hello, chat. I see a bunch of people, some people in chat saying Merry Christmas, Dreamcast guy. Thanks to y'all.
Popeye versus Balan. I'll say Popeye is a better game because Popeye wasn't released at $60 and it didn't have the music's not bad. Yeah. It was a budget game and it obviously didn't have, I mean, it wasn't published by Square Enix. Like, that just makes it the worst thing in the world. Yeah, General Chaos is pretty dope. Vector Man's super good.
Love you, Necro Banana.
Dynamite Heady is super fun too. Is there a post game? We already recorded the Spawn cast yesterday, so that's going up on tomorrow, and then I'm not going to be around for Saturday and Sunday. What's today? Today's Friday, right?
It better be.
All right, so yeah, I won't be around this weekend. I'll probably be back to my bullshit early next week. Comic Zone's tough though. I don't care what anyone says. That game is hard as shit. Did Yuji Naka go to prison because of Alon? No, but he should.
It's funny that he probably will go to prison though.
I mean, he's locked up, ain't he?
I think they arrested him. It sounds like if you committed a non-violent crime in most countries, they like arrest you and explain why you're being arrested, and then they release you again. Like they don't want to just have you sit in a cell for like 2 years while they figure out the thing. But I mean, it sounds like 1,000,000%. It sounds like he did the crime.
He needs to go on the run.
Well, did you see the transcription that apparently they like took him into a room 2 years ago, and they're like, or 3 years ago, and they're like, we're gonna release Dragon Quest XI in America. He went, okay. He like bought a bunch of American stock immediately. it's like yeah, you can't do that. That's illegal.
That seems okay to me.
I love it.
Seems okay to me. Any good recommendations for the DS? Yeah, there's a ton of good stuff. First off, get a multi-cart unless you want to collect for it.
Step 1 mod it because there's so many good games on there.
Hotel Dusk, Liberty City. I'm just looking at my collection. Liberty City Stories, Castlevania: Dawn of Sorrow. Any of the Castlevania games are super good. Meteos.
The Dragon Quest games on there are fucking incredible. I replayed Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
7 and 8 on there. They're so perfect on the 3DS. It feels like they actually changed them up. They like shortened the intros and stuff. They're great.
What else is good on there? Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden DS is probably, it runs at 60 frames per second, and like you can't even do that on the Switch. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden's super good. Mario Hoops 3-on-3 is super fun. Gloria Hercules was a cool game, but not a lot of people supported it, so it was like a one and done. What's the best Christmas game?
Blue Stinger, no question.
Blue Stinger is good. I mean, what defines a Christmas game? Because Shenmue, you see Santa in there because it happens, you can get to Christmas Day. Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo. The levels are Christmas themed.
I'm the biggest simp ever for Shenmue, but Shenmue takes place over the course of like an entire year, so that feels like cheating because I mean that's also a Halloween game.
I mean that's fine. That's fine. Christmas Nights, yeah.
Christmas Nights. Yeah.
Die Hard Arcade. I mean, if we're gonna say that Die Hard's a Christmas movie,
Die Hard Arcade isn't even about Die Hard though.
I mean, but Sega of America thought Dynamite Deco wouldn't sell.
Yeah. I love that fucking story because I bought Die Hard Arcade randomly for $20, and I took it home and played it, and then I looked up the price and I was like, oh shit, it's actually really expensive.
Dude, Saturn shit is just steady. I haven't looked at that in a while. Let's see. Let me look at some Saturn stuff here. See how much gold I'm sitting on. Yeah, Miles Morales is good.
Oh yeah, Miles Morales, and that has a really wholesome Christmas vibe.
I can't believe like fucking Resident Evil is over $200 on the Saturn. Like that's ridiculous.
I gotta sell mine. I only have like 10 or 20 Saturn games, and I looked it up. They're worth like $1,500 for just those couple.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Like shit is ridiculous on there. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, Die Hard. Let's see. Die Hard Arcade. Merry Christmas, Jeremy. So CIB Die Hard Arcade's about 150-ish right now. That's crazy, dude. I remember there used to be this website that was called McFly's, and like he was kind of friends with like me and some of my friends like 5-6 years ago, and he would just sell us Saturn games for like dirt cheap, like half price of what they were going for at that time. So it wasn't, you could get a quality, like I bought Resident Evil from him for like $40. Die Hard for cheap. X-Men Children of the Atom for cheap. Oh yeah, dude. Alien Trilogy on the Saturn, I like it better than the PlayStation version. I think it plays a little better. That's a game I bought at Too Many Games one year for, I remember it was $36 and I got it for $30. I think that's kind of gone up in price too. Avedon, happy holidays, broski. Appreciate you. Hope you've been doing well, man. Yeah, it's like 70 on the Saturn now. That's fucking ridiculous. Do I think chupacabras are real? Yeah.
The hell they are. You know, it's funny that in Mexico, everybody, like a bunch of people believe in witches. So there'll be like the 6 o'clock news in Monterey, and they'll just be like, there was a 5-car pileup, and also a witch cast a spell. It's like, what the hell?
No, there was that one chupacabra that they found on video that like it was on a police dash cam, and like it might just be like a mangy coyote, but until you clarify that it's a like, I don't know, man. Those things are weird. Appreciate you, Andy. Am I gonna buy anything for the Indie World sale on eShop? I don't know. I'm trying to save some money right now. Have you ever been arrested? Yes. I have a video about the first time I got arrested on my channel. On this channel. Let's find that. Let's find that.
Getting arrested sucks.
I mean, it's not fun. Like the Jersey Devil.
I'm seeing it, but
All right, hold on. I think this will work.
Let's see if Sports Story. Do I want to review Sports Story? I ain't got shit going on, man. I ain't got no fucking family or nothing. I'm sitting on my ass. Maybe I should review
It's only like $15. Here you go. Look at this chupacabra. Like, what is that? That's a chupacabra to me. He could be a Christmas chupacabra.
Put a little hat on him.
Like, he kind of has a body of a dog, but like, look at that face, dude. Look at his head. His head is massive. Look when he turns. Give me a turn, little guy. I didn't go back far enough.
Do a little turn on the catwalk.
On the catwalk. How you gonna say that's not chupacabra? You don't know.
I'm scrolling. I don't see where's this.
Oh, it's on the live stream. That's not a coyote, dude.
Oh,
Look at that body. I've seen a ton.
That's a fucking dog.
Look at the head, bro. The head is way too big.
I know. Yeah, you know what? There's some fucked up dogs out there, brother.
That's not. That's. We're gonna watch this in slow mo.
That's a dog.
That is chupacabra.
The chupacabra originally was like bipedal. The drawings of it.
Yeah, they didn't know though. Coyote with a disease? I don't know, man. Look at that head. Look at that head.
Bro,
Look at that head.
So I feel bad. I bet that's a dog that's on the edge of starving to death. A lot of creatures look real messed up shortly before they die. Like parts of your body swell up and stuff. It's morbid as hell, but.
El chupacabra no existe, RGT. Dejeces de cuentos. I don't know that second part. Pig dog, okay. Honk goes as Dynamite, member of the RGT Army for 4 months. Sports Story, anyone? Yeah, we're just talking about that. Max is thinking of reviewing it. It's only like $15. Well, funny, because that chupacabra was in Texas, not Mexico.
Let me tell you, man, there ain't shit up here. We're down here.
Oh yeah, the circle pad for the Saturn was included with select copies of Knights. That's the copy of Knights I actually have on the Saturn. Because you had the DualShock and then you had the N64 analog stick, so that was kind of Sega's first foray into the analog stick before the Dreamcast. No Balan lives. You got a review. That's worse than a live stream. Because I actually had to like play through it all. Like I could have just live streamed the game for an hour or two and been like, well, that's it. Oh, bro, the ocean's crazy. Oceans. There's so much shit in the ocean, dude.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the thing that we know like 95% of everything we're ever going to know about the moon? We already know because there ain't shit to know about the moon, but we just don't know shit about the ocean because it's just so big, so deep, so highly pressurized, you can't even get down there.
And it's funny how you're gonna get me going. It's funny how all these fucking people are like, don't drive your gas car, you're ruining the environment. Have you ever seen what a rocket into outer space does to the ozone layer? It literally rips a hole in the ozone layer. So don't feel bad when you're driving your gas car and all these morons are trying to go to outer space for no fucking reason. Go to the ocean. You know what? Figure out everything here and then you explore. Weirdos. Don't get me started. I'm only one man. Knight's Wii remaster? I mean, Knight's on the Wii was not that bad if you used the Wii Pro controller or just a Wii controller. If you used the motion controls, it was bad. But if you used a normal controller, I thought it was a super fun game. Oh, I know ABD. I know Snowy Taco. It's all just bullshit. Try to make you feel bad. Yeah, I don't get the exploring space thing, man. Like, especially comparative to exploring the sea. Like, as far like I understand technology and stuff like that, and you know, like satellites and shit. Like, okay, I get that. It's
not just that; it's also that it's very separate styles of science. So that's a thing I hear a lot because I read a lot of science textbooks and stuff, and I get annoyed when I hear people be like, "I can't believe we're trying to explore space when we haven't solved cancer." It's like, well, those are separate groups with separate funding. You know,
right,
doctors can't go to space, and I think it's the same thing of that. You know, oceanography and deep sea explorers and stuff are not getting into space shuttles. So it's very, very, very separate groups being funded by separate groups. I definitely support both. I think the biggest thing that's come out of NASA over the course of the last 30 years has just been a lot more environmental science and stuff that's helping us out. It does seem like, honestly, I don't know if you've read it, but it does seem like we're actually starting to repair the ozone layer. And a lot of that is because of the satellites we already have up there.
Well, that and they got rid of those aerosol canisters.
Yeah. What is that? What is that noise in your background?
It's a vacuum.
Oh,
maids are here. She's vacuuming my steps. I did not play Crisis Core yet. I need to pick it up though. I wanted it physically, and I was gonna play it. I was gonna pick it up on Switch and play it over at the weekend, but like the physical copy from Amazon was like, we'll be there January 5th. And I was like,
I know.
I'll wait for a sale. Thank you.
Mine took forever. I ordered it on Amazon and it came super late because I got it for, I got a review code and that's how I had the video up so early. And then I bought a physical copy for PS5 and it just came like 3 days ago.
Okay. This could be sugar-free Baja Blast. It's not, but it could be. No, I'm eating whatever this weekend. I don't give a fuck.
Bro, when you beat Crisis Core, definitely talk to me about it, man. It's good. I 100%ed it. I did all 300 missions and found all the mail and did everything.
I never played it.
It's really, really good. Basically, you can do these little side missions at every checkpoint. Whenever you want, you can open up stores, you can customize your shit, which is interesting, but you can do these missions that are like 5 minutes long. There's just little fun like dungeons, but then the main story, it's mostly cutscenes. So like it's weird because it makes it where like when you do the main story, you're pretty much just sitting there watching people explain how Sephiroth was made, and then you do the side quests and it's actual gameplay.
I mean, it looks cool. I like the combat and shit. Because what the fuck? I just wanted to look at this, see how much it was selling for. I like the combat style. Does it have more content than the PSP version?
No, not a bit.
Who called me out, Georgie? Who called me out? You think I give a fuck? I'm sorry. Here you go. Nintendo's gonna make video games in 2023. Like, no fucking shit. A fucking Mario game is probably being worked on. That's not a revelation. It's Nintendo. It's their biggest IP. They haven't made a new Mario game since fucking 2017. I'm supposed to be shocked? It's supposed to be a leak? Fuck
It'd be
outta
honestly,
here.
It'd be weirder if they weren't working on a Mario game.
Appreciate you, Liam. We're getting a PS5 Pro or a Switch 2 first. I think there will be some sort of revision to the PlayStation, but I don't know if it's going to be something like that. I think it might be more efficient, but I don't think it's going to be like a boost and increase and stuff. But Sony's obviously wanting to do something.
Yeah.
With the PlayStation 5. I mean, they've already slightly revised it a few times. Obviously, nothing super major, but yeah, like a PS5 Slim or something, like redesign the system, do the whole thing, you know, sort of push the attachment, the CD attachment, which is weird because that's kind of like going backwards to like the Sega Genesis and Sega CD stuff, you know, got to get attachments for your systems now.
I'd read that for them, it just came down to, in a weird way, not putting the drive in the console just made it so much cheaper for their factories and stuff. Like, it's one of those weird things where it looks on the store shelf, it looks like a minor change, but on the back end, it's like a big deal.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get something weird this generation. I think that, like, they're going to come up with a new PlayStation in like 2 years, and it's going to be it's still going to be called the PlayStation 5, but I think it's going to have better graphics, and that's going to justify them not doing a price drop. Like, watch this thing stay $500 for the entire fucking generation, but halfway through the graphics suddenly just get better.
I saw the Sonic Bling. It's right here.
Will it be black or white though? Yeah, true. The PS5 Pro's got to be black. Or like,
bro, that controller gets. I don't care what anyone says. You could have the cleanest hands in the world. You could wear fucking gloves when using that controller, and fucking, it still gets dirty and grungy. I played I played the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga for like 30 minutes today because it's on Game Pass. I might download it. It's pretty fun. I like the fact that it seems like they cut down. I don't know. Did you play that Skywalker Saga Lego?
A little bit, yeah. I heard it was great. Dude, I don't know why. I think it's because I dated somebody that worked on the Star Wars movies. But man, I just do not give a shit about Star Wars anymore.
I think what I liked about it, at least from the small portion I played of it, was the fact that it didn't feel like they leaned like super heavy into the humor. At least right off the bat, it seemed a bit more of a serious tone. Have I ever had sketchy pills? I haven't, but I've had sketchy weed. I once sold a bunch of pills out of a shoe. That was fun. So back in the day, all the skate shoes that were done by like companies like Circa, which was Chad Muska's company, and iPads, they all had something, and I'll just show you my lugs here. In the tongue, there was a stash pocket, and you could fit like a ton of shit in there. And like one time I sold pills, I had to go meet this dude and sell him some shit, and I literally just had them bitches in the stash pocket in a little baggie, and that was a weird day, man. That was a weird day.
I think I told you about that little motherfucker that looked just like Elijah Wood in my neighborhood, who sold weed, and everybody called him Drodo Baggins. I mean, he looked like fucking Frodo's twin brother. So he'd walk up and be like, "Would you boys like some Schreier weed?"
Well, I remember Diablo Dan, who was like big into Diablo in high school, because Diablo Dan was his messenger name. He ended up going to Chapel Hill and becoming like a big kingpin, like selling, I mean, nothing too crazy, just like weed and some pills and stuff like that. He ended up getting busted, had a complete mental breakdown, disappeared, came back. And I'm not saying that this was because of the mental breakdown, but he ended up like popping back up, and like he was, and this was like mid 2000s time, so you got to kind of gauge the time. Like, he just started wearing wigs and dresses and stuff, and everyone was kind of like, oh, and he was like, yeah, my name is Nadia now. And we're like, what? And he was just like, yeah, you know, I'm a female. And we're like, okay, that's okay. You know, if that's what makes you happy, Diablo Dan. And his brother could like suck his own dick.
Nice.
Yeah, his little brother, because his little brother was in our grade, and Diablo Dan was a couple years older than us. I don't know where I was going with that story, but it kind of made sense. I met Andrew Reynolds once. Andrew Reynolds is super cool. He used to tell us, bro. He used to tell us that he could suck his own dick. Like, we never watched him do it or anything, but like,
I would ask for proof. I'd be like, bro, I better see it. There used to be, I was in this big group that would go to all the conventions here in Texas. We would like, we go to all the, there's a ton of fucking like anime conventions and gaming conventions. So we had this huge Facebook group. So we would all go there and coordinate costumes and stuff. And there was this dude in the group who constantly would brag about how he could suck his own dick. And if you asked him, he would fucking send you a video, and he'd get in the shower and he'd warm up the fucking shower. He's like, I just gotta loosen up my back muscles. And he'd suck his own dick.
I mean, it's
and
impressive, dude. Like,
he was like so serious about it. Like, it wasn't even like, it wasn't about the pleasure. It was like, no, this is business. I practice this. I was like, okay, bud.
Like, I mean, is it really any different than jerking off though? Like, I mean,
it didn't look very pleasurable, to be honest.
Well,
I mean,
no.
you're so fucking bent over. It's like jerking off upside down.
Hearing Max say Drodo Baggins was worth an immediate donation never changed, bro. You're crazy. Thank you, Spooky Nurakami. Cristobal, hope you're having a good holiday, RGT. Thanks for the daily content, far and wide. Keep being you naturally. When will you do Who the TF is Dreamcast guy? You want to do that next week, Max? Sometime?
Yeah, just give me 24 hours heads up.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Need a headboard that you can grab onto, and it's easy peasy.
We're getting dick sucking fucking tips and shit.
Trinity of the Phoenix, member of the RGT Army for 2 months. Sounds like Dreamcast guys speaking from experience.
I tried to suck my own dick. I can get pretty close. Let's face it. I've showed old pictures. I used to weigh like 110 pounds. So I was a real skinny dude, and skinny dudes usually have huge dicks. So I could get close, but couldn't.
That's a
quite suck my
song.
own dick.
That's a song by Dirt Nasty, and I don't know if Andre Legacy's on it. I can suck my own dick. Can suck my own dick, so I don't need a hoe. I blow myself away every day, literally.
Jesus Christ.
Do I have any Funko Pops? I don't. I still use the Manscaped Lawnmower 3000. It's in my shower whenever I need to tidy things up.
Yeah. Trim the hedges.
Oh, the stranger, yeah. Sit on your hand. Or like in Haggard, where Ryan Dunn, Haggard was when Bam Margera decided to make a movie. It was actually a pretty decent movie. I thought it was pretty funny. But Ryan Dunn would jerk off stalefish, which is a skateboarding move where when you catch air, you reach kind of behind and in between your legs and grab the board. It's a stalefish grab. And he was in the mirror jerking off stalefish, and he got caught, and he like fell over. It was the funniest fucking thing. You need to watch Haggard if you haven't. It probably hasn't held up very well, and I'm sure there's some phobic terms in it or something. But different times, man. Different times.
It's weird because I really like comedy, and I specifically like to study comedy. It's interesting since comedy is one of the best reflections of a current culture. Like, everybody's trying to be as edgy as possible as is allowed for that time. So it's weird to watch like Eddie Murphy through the ages as he slowly became like a more family friendly dude. And you watch his stuff from the 80s, and he's like, I beat up a bunch of gay people.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
Like, whoa.
Delirious is one of the best. You know who was always funny though, and his shit is timeless because he never got into anything like that, was Sinbad. You can watch any Sinbad stand-up, and like, it's always clean, but it's always funny as fuck. Like, I think Sinbad is probably one of the more talented stand-up comedians, because you could always get a pop out of, like, especially during that time frame, like a gay joke or, by cussing a lot. But like, Sinbad wouldn't do any of that, and he would still have the whole place fucking rolling. Like, it's crazy.
you've listened, I think probably one of the most timeless people ever, fucking Mitch Hedberg. Mitch
Yeah.
Hedberg would like have a little bit of like self-deprecation jokes, a little bit of drug jokes, but like that man had like a 10-minute bit about Smokey the Bear sucking, and it's like that's great.
Yeah, Mitch Hedberg was great. Sam Kinison too. I love Sam Kinison. He passed away too soon.
If you Mitch Hedberg released a comedy album where you can like it's like a recording of one of his fucking performances, and at the very start you hear him walk on stage and he's like, "Hey guys, I gotta tell you that this is actually being recorded for an album, which means that I gotta be extra good. Y'all gotta laugh very loud, but let's just once do a joke that only works on video. Like, let's laugh at this gentleman's shirt, but not explain what his shirt says." And I just love that.
Have you ever seen Jingle All the Way? Of course, man. I loved Sinbad's movies. Jingle All the Way was great. House Guest. Oh, he was like a homeless dude acting like a dentist. That shit was fucking hilarious. Like, it's just so stupid, but it's funny. Like, when he goes in there, like, the chick is all hot, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And then she smiles, and he's like, "Oh, God almighty." Yeah, Richard Pryor was dope. Patrice O'Neal is kind of how I model myself after. Because he wanted 50% of the people in the audience to laugh, and he wanted 50% of the people to be horrified at what he just said. Because I feel like that's just such a good balance.
That's the good mix.
It's a good mix, man. Am I a Persona fan? No, not really. That's an interesting thing, FM Ghost. They're talking about the fucking have you seen that 90s show teaser yet?
I did, yeah. I watched the latest one that was like 2 minutes, yeah.
Well, how did they? Because Danny Masterson isn't in that, right?
Danny Masterson's in prison, I think.
No, I thought he got off for all that stuff. But it's like, how you gonna have Wilmer Valderrama on there when he was supposedly banging a bunch of teenage girls, and like that came out, and then he's like the hairdresser. I was like, I'm surprised.
Let's see here.
I thought Masterson had the shit dropped when I last, because
It looks like it just got dropped like 3 weeks ago. Judge declares mistrial for actor Danny Masterson, who's accused of violently raping 3 women. Jesus Christ.
I feel like they should have just left that shit alone. Like, I don't know. I think some people are gonna like it. The problem with that 90s show to me is I think it relies heavily on nostalgia for that 70s show.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they're trying to introduce way too many new characters into the mix. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't get that initial fan base from the original, I just don't see it being super successful.
Well, it's also, I've seen a bunch of interesting stuff about how it's interesting that in the 70s, in the 70s and 80s, they made a bunch of movies that took place in the 50s, and that worked well. And then in the 90s, they made a little bit of stuff about the 70s. So it's weird that now in 2020, everything takes place in the 80s and 90s, but it feels like everything is kind of overly fake. Like you and I kind of remember the 90s. And it's like all these TV shows and shit are like nobody was walking around in all these big old pastels constantly blasting only the hits. Like the 90s kind of sucked while we were living through it.
Like if you watch something that's time appropriate, like all you have to do if you want to get a good gist of it is watch a show from that time frame.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that. Watch Melrose Place. Watch the movie so you can get California at that time. Watch the movie Kids so you could get New York City at that time. Like, it wasn't quite like wear the big puffy starter jackets and stuff. Like, that's your 90s. People,
I always think about
people were getting shot over those things, man.
I always think about X-Files because I was super into X-Files, and they would go to little podunk towns, and it looked like they actually filmed it in podunk towns, and people would just have like random puffy jackets on, standing like, "Yep, there's a bunch of aliens in the woods." It's like, yeah, that's what the 90s was actually like.
Yeah, like I don't get it. Like I feel like they overcomplicate it and they overcompensate for whatever reason. Like even the 80s stuff. Like the 80s had some like okay, if you watch Saved by the Bell and that's all you watched, like the first few seasons, okay, maybe you'll get that sort of stuff. But that was more like a West Coast thing. Like you had the fucking green shag carpet, the brown couch, the wood paneling in the living room. Like that's your 80s.
Ashtrays everywhere.
Ashtray. If there's no smoking in the house, it's not real. It's not real 80s or 90s, bro.
There's a picture somebody posted on Reddit a couple months ago that made me laugh. Where it was like a family photograph of a birthday.
Oh, is it with the little kid
1982?
who's like freaking out and the dad's
No.
like in his underwear?
No, that's a good. I've seen that one too. No, this one's like it's at a McDonald's and everybody looks dead bored. And there's a bunch of McDonald's branded ashtrays everywhere that are overflowing with cigarettes. It's like, yeah, that's more accurate.
Bro, I remember we said, and even in the early 2000s, we would go to Arby's all the time, and like they had a smoking section and a non-smoking section, and the only thing that divided it was this invisible wall, and we would just chain smoking there playing GBA, eating the fucking the fucking, what was the thing I used to get, the chicken sandwich, had bacon on it and honey mustard sauce. I can't remember the name of it.
That sounds good.
It was fucking good. I want to find that picture. Kid party. Weird. I don't know how to find that.
You gotta put like 80s. Put 80s kid party, kid freak out. Like a lot of that stuff, if you over describe it, you'll find it.
Oh, he had a guitar, didn't he? Guitar. I'm pretty sure the kid had a guitar in the picture. Fuck, I want to see that picture because it makes me laugh. Because it's just like, what the fuck is going on here? It's just like, bro.
So
Switch
someone
Realm.
said,
oh, go ahead.
Dreamcast guy is the only person that when he's talking, Sean looks worried about what he's gonna say next.
Oh, I don't care. Ah, there it is. Fucking found it. What? God damn it. Open the fucking picture. No, not that. Open image in new tab. I feel like this is probably like indicative of the 90s or maybe early 2000s a little bit more. Because of the haircut is what kind of gives it away. My vape brand of choice is whatever the gas station has for me. I'm using a Boxy by Hit right now. I actually have a brand new one because I don't know how long that's going to last. All right, here is the picture in question. Oops. I turned off the wrong thing. All right, so you got this little dude here. He's just rocking out in his looks like his diaper. He's got a guitar. He's just screaming. Mom is dancing with grandma. Grandma's fucking wasted. Dad, for some reason, is taking off his pants. Like,
That's a good picture.
this is a good. Like, what the fuck is going on here? But it's amazing, dude. It's just like you captured something in time here.
Well, and that's really the way it was. I think it was interesting. Just I felt like going through the 80s and 90s, it felt like everybody was more chill and everybody was more shy. Like, it's weird that now everybody wants to be a YouTuber. Like, anytime you see anybody on the news, they're acting like a YouTuber and stuff. Even when they're a man on the street, everyone's being ridiculous, you know? Like, everyone was so chill.
Everyone wants their 15 seconds of fame nowadays, and it's just like, you know, I don't know. Am I gonna take some time off for the holidays? I will be taking off tomorrow and Sunday for sure. I might not do anything on Monday. Actually, my editor is going to be stepping up his role a little bit as far as editing stuff is concerned, because there's some stuff I want to do, kind of like Jordan, I guess, but not like as frequent or whatever, but like not really in Jordan style, but like something like I want to talk about Metal Gear Solid 3. Like I just want to talk about it for a half hour. And so with him, I can be like, okay, you know, I'm going to talk about this, make it good, make it fun. And then, you know, we could do stuff like that. I want to do one about the Virtual Boy where I talk about the Virtual Boy because I kind of alluded to it in my Nintendo failures video. I want to talk about the Virtual Boy. I want to review all the games on it because everyone's played them all, stuff like that. So it looks like an advertisement for cocaine. Would you like smoking, non-smoking, or first available? Hell yeah, dude.
I think I'm probably gonna live stream on my channel tomorrow because I ain't got shit to do.
Yeah, I'll be passed out at my grandma's because I probably won't sleep tonight because I don't know I could ever sleep.
How old are your grandparents? I mean, my whole family almost all my family died in the 90s, so I can't even imagine. Like, I feel like my grandparents made it to like 80, and they both died.
My grandma is, I think she just turned 84, and my grandpa turned 83. But like, I think, because grandma came from Italy, and I think they fucked up her papers, because she had 4 sisters. One of them passed away when they were kids. But like, when World War II happened, they left Italy and came here. But I think they fucked up their papers, because like, my grandma still is up like 12 hours a day, cooking, cleaning, running around. Her oldest sister is 91, and like, besides a hip problem that she has, like, she's fine. All her other her sister Julie smoked and drank for like 60 years. She's still alive. I guess weird. Grandpa, I don't know. But he's also, I think it's more so like when people retire and stuff, like they become not active, and like they just don't retire. Like, they're always up doing stuff.
My grandma was alive until, she always told us for her whole life, she kept being like, the second you put me in a retirement home, I'm gonna die. And she fucking did. She got just a little bit tired and weak, and so she's like, all right, I'm ready for the old folks home. We put her in there. 6 months later, fucking dead.
See, my mom also had me when she had just turned 18, though. She got pregnant at 17. She turned 18 in June. I popped out in July. So she also was kind of young.
Because Josh Cole, Dreamcast guy, needs to dig up his Virtual Boy. Since, I still know the exact address of where I buried my Virtual Boy. I'm going to go out there at some point and talk to the people that live in that house and go, hi, can I dig a hole in your backyard?
Elements, 3 months in this mess. Let's go. Appreciate you, broski. Necro Banana. In the Dominican Republic, they used to screw up birth certificates all the time. My grandma is a year older than her birth certificate says. Same with my parents. Well, that's kind of like a lot of the it's actually a really interesting story if you care about the NBA, because supposedly Manute Bol, when he was playing in the NBA, they said he was like late 20s, early 30s, but like they think he was actually like in his late 40s or early 50s, like playing in the NBA, because he was from Senegal, and Senegal didn't really have birth certificates. So when he went to college, or when we went to apply to a college, they were like, well, what's your birthday? And he was like, I don't know. So the coach just gave him a birthday so that he could play on the team. Supposedly, like, one time, like, one of the players asked him, like, yo, are you really like that young? Like, are you really only 20 something? And he was like, no, I'm 40 something. Like, it's fucking crazy.
You know, I don't know what my actual birthday is. My parents were really anti-hospital for a while, so I was born at home. Because they would just smoke weed till they were just fucking dumb as hell. So they just sat there smoking weed and hanging out. And she's like, oh shit, I'm having a baby. So they had a baby. And they're just sitting around for a couple weeks with me. And apparently somebody came by and was like, hey, you know, that's a new person. You have to like turn them into the government to be like basically registered. So they just went to a hospital and went, oh, hey, we have a baby. And they were like, when was he born? They were like, May 7th? So my birthday is kind of approximate.
What's up, S-Rod? What's up, Andre? Who would you bet $1,000 in a fight between Danny DeVito and Big Ed? Currently, I would say Big Ed, because I feel like he could just kind of tip over and fall on him. I did not see the John Morant rookie card where it had Key Glock and Young Dolph. I did kind of want that Memphis jersey that 3-6 Mafia did when they did the Wu-Tang New York Knicks jersey. I just wasn't willing to drop $300 for both of them. Yeah, I think there's a lot of mysteries with some people's ages. I assume my age is right. Like, I was born in a hospital.
In a lot of cultures, did you know you start at 1? Like in Korea, you start at 1 instead of starting at 0. So yeah, so a lot of those when you're watching StarCraft tournaments and stuff, or a lot of the Valorant tournaments, and they'll be like, this guy is 18 years old. Technically, he's like, by our measurement, he's 17.
Time is so weird. Like, who the fuck sat down and was like, there's 365 days in a year? Like, what? There's 60 minutes in an hour. What are you just making shit up?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta measure it somehow, yeah. You know,
but I mean,
I read for
it's just weird.
In Japan, when Japan started to try and communicate with the outside world, because obviously they were an island nation for thousands of years, they thought that the rest of the world was in perpetual summer. I don't know why, but we have a bunch of detailed records. Japan thought that only they had snow, only they had rain. They thought like the rest of the world was like scorched earth for some reason. Like, what a weird belief.
Sometimes I wish like I could just go back in time and like live for a week in different time frames. Like just to see what it was like New York City, 1920s, before the crash. Yeah. Like I think that would be fucking fascinating, just to see like the way of life in like ancient Egypt. But I would make sure like I was with the posh family, not one of the fucking other. I didn't want to be a slave. Is pretty much what I was saying. I didn't want to be building a pyramid.
Have you ever heard of the name Billy Tipton? Have you ever heard that name?
No.
It was like this person. It was like a jazz singer who was born a woman and realized he was a dude. And he's like, okay, well, they don't let women be jazz singers. So he moved to New York and just made up the name Billy Tipton and was a big jazz singer for years. And there's recordings of him and he sounds really interesting because it's a trans man in like 1931. And he lived his whole freaking life as a dude. And he had kids and stuff that they later found out were adopted. When he died of cardiac arrest, they were doing an autopsy and they're like, oh my God, this is a woman. But I've always thought about like, man, how crazy it was in the 30s where you could just walk into fucking town and make up a name and then live as that name legally for 60 years.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit I'm about. Like think about it, dude. You could have gotten away with so much shit. Like you could have robbed all these banks and just moved a state over. They're never gonna fucking find you.
Yeah. There wasn't even criminal profiling until like 30 years ago. They invented psychological profiling for serial killers. That's why people don't know this. That's why there were so many serial killers in like the 60s and 70s. It's because nobody was looking for them.
Yeah. Like and you had it was a pain in the ass to figure it out. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Craziest snowstorm ever right now. Where are you at, Original Man? I'm surprised we didn't get any snow. We just got rain here in the Northeast. But I mean, I'm happy because I don't want to drive in the snow.
It was training here, man. I hate it. It was snowing here in Dallas, and I hated it.
Michigan, good old Michigan. At least ERCOT didn't go down.
Halfwit in chat is actually right. I've read some books about bootleggers, and the biggest thing that bootleggers had, their biggest skill, was having a straight face. Like, I think this guy in chat is right. I think you would have been a great bootlegger because it is just a matter of like, you got to be able to drive a car calmly past the cops with like, you know, $1 million of contraband. You could do that.
It would have been fun. I would have enjoyed it. That's not true. Well, I mean, every state has a Walmart and McDonald's now. But I mean, if you go to New York City, there ain't no Walmarts. You got to go to the bodega. Say?
Are there not Walmarts?
Not in any of the 5 boroughs, no.
Huh. Where did I go? Where was I in? I was in Washington, D.C., I think. And they had... That whole area was just so crowded, and they randomly had like a Walmart like 3 or 4 stories up. So you were like down on the street level, and you had to go up all these escalators to get to the Walmart. It was very weird.
How many houses did I look at before purchasing? I made a bid on one. I lost. I looked at another. The foundation was kind of sketch. I made another bid on one. They accepted it, but they weren't moving out for like 6 months. And I was like, this is fucking stupid. And then I got this place. So I guess 3 or 4. Well, I mean, New York State, you can find a Walmart there. But as far as New York City or like Manhattan, the Bronx,
Island.
Yeah, you ain't finding nothing. When did I last see the raccoon? Probably the day before I moved. Yeah, there's not even, Walmarts in the Northeast still aren't like super prevalent. Like in the South, every fucking podunk town has a fucking Walmart. I remember visiting the South before we moved there and like going to a Walmart, and I was like, what the fuck is this place? And my dad's dad lived in the South, and we would go see him, and he'd be like, yeah, this is a Walmart. I remember he had a black GMC Jimmy. That motherfucker had a lot of money though. He worked for Tyson. He was like a big guy in the Tyson chicken thing, and like we would go to the chicken plants and like I'd see like chickens get their heads cut off. I'm like, cool, chicken nuggets.
I got this super tiny, terrible convention in Tulsa that was called Tokyo in Tulsa. Paid me like a very weirdly large amount of money to go up there and like talk at their convention. So I'm like, okay, how bad can it be? I've never been to Oklahoma. So I drive up there and go to the convention and do like my talk. And then I'm like, well, what the hell do I do in Tulsa, Oklahoma? And I found out pretty much nothing. So at one point I'm hungry, and they gave me like $300 to go get food. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna go get some food. And I fucking go to the Walmart, and I took a picture of it, and I know I still have a picture of it somewhere. It's a fucking Walmart with a strip club in the parking lot. So you literally walk past the strippers to go get like your groceries. I was like, man, this sucks.
That sounds low-key awesome. Have either of you tried Sports Story at all yet? Ask Switch Realm. I have not. Max seems to be debating reviewing it.
I haven't bought it yet. I might not.
Why did I decide to move? I needed more space, and I was like, I don't really feel like renting another place. Because like rent, you know, when I decided to buy a place, I picked what at that time was the worst time. Like if I had done it like a year and a half earlier, it would have been a fuck of a lot better. But you know, hindsight's 2020. But thankfully, like the housing market hasn't crashed yet. And I mean, not thankfully for my sanity, I'll say, because I didn't want to move here and then like I buy this place and then it depreciates in like a massive amount in a year. But it seems like that's not going to happen like super anytime soon, because a lot of people don't realize this. It wasn't individuals buying up the houses. It was corporations
Companies,
and banks and companies and stuff that were buying up the houses in mass.
I don't know how that's fucking legal. Yeah, who is it? Sean Hannity, one of the Fox News hosts or something, got busted where it turned out that he legally owned like 100,000 houses because he owned all these shell corporations that would buy up companies and rent or buy out individual houses and rent them out. Like, how is it legal for someone to own 100,000 houses?
Yeah, like it's crazy. It was ridiculous, and that's what made it, you know, tough to find a place. I don't have a garage. That's the one thing I don't have that I wish I had, but I mean, you know, it's fine. Worst case, I can always, if I need to store a dead body in a garage, I can just do it at my grandparents' house. Imagine vape. I mean, it's better than smoking 20 cigarettes a day. Shit.
Is that what you were doing previously?
Yeah, there's like a 20s at a pack. I used to smoke a pack and a half.
God damn.
But now I'm down to like 3, 4, maybe.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's still. I mean, it's better. Still bad, but it's better. I've never had a cigarette. I'm like, I'm terrified of all that stuff. My parents were so addicted to drugs that I know that's in my blood. So man, I don't touch anything.
No, my arcade room is part of the basement. So I'm in. That's kind of one of the reasons I picked this place. One half of the basement is what you see here, and like over there next to the wrestling figures where I'm pointing now on this side, there's a little closet with the washer and dryer, and then there's a door here, and then that other side, the people weren't using it. The people were just using it as storage, and I was like, fuck, that's my arcade. So the arcade room is in there. I the first time I smoked a cigarette, I was 12, because the dude, I went over to this kid's house. He's like, you want some cigarettes? I was like, okay. He's like, my dad smokes. And he opened up this closet, and it was just cartons of Winstons. I was like, okay. And then I got caught, and my dad, he did the old stupid thing where it's like, we're going to the gas station. You're going to smoke a pack of cigarettes. You're going to see what it's like. I was like, okay. We went to the gas station. He bought me a pack of cigarettes. He's like, we're going to stand here. You're going to smoke these whole things. I was like, okay. And so I got up to like 3 cigarettes, and I'm just kind of chilling. He's just kind of looking at me. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, this isn't making me sick. And he just took the pack and he crumpled it up. He threw it away. He's like, get in the car. It's like, what did you expect to happen? Have I ever wrapped my junk in wrapping paper or a box and given it to a girl on Christmas?
Jesus.
No, I don't think so.
That's some movie shit. Nobody would really fucking do that.
It seems like a lot of work. Like, that's what dads used to do. They're like, "You're gonna smoke this pack of cigarettes till you get sick." And I was just like, okay. And then like I smoked 3 and I was like on the 4th one, just kind of standing there hanging out at the gas station, just kind of looking around. I was like, I should have brought my skateboard with me. Merry Christmas, Noah. Merry Christmas, Ray. Yeah, I got all my Christmas crap. Some of it wrapped. Some of it I just threw in, because I ordered everything off Amazon. So, like, if it was kind of something a bit larger and I didn't want to wrap it, I just put it in the Amazon box and just wrote whoever its name was. My cousin, one of my cousins is going to college next year. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck to get her. So I got a taser and pepper spray. So that should be fun.
That's good. That's a good gift.
My other cousin, her sister, her older sister, who's like kind of like my sister because we grew up together. She's like 2 or 3 years younger than me. She's engaged to a Hispanic girl who's like very Mexico, like her family's from Mexico and stuff. So every year I always get her something Mexican related. And I got her a bunch of Mexican shot glasses, like that's what they're called. And like I just circled the word Mexican on there and put a smiley face. Like 2 years ago, I got them a Christmas card and I wrote inside, "Please no scissoring," in front of Grandma, and they just started crying, laughing, and Grandma was like, "Oh, that's funny. I want to see the card." I was like, "No, you don't, Grandma. No, you don't."
Good card. I didn't buy that many gifts this year. I only got a couple for my friend. The one thing I bought that was very expensive. One of my, I have an aunt. The reason I got my new teeth, because my teeth were all fake. One of my aunts worked at a dentist's office, and she ended up negotiating to get my teeth for super, super cheap. That aunt is now dying. Her like organs are all messed up, so she's been slowly dying for like a year now. And her son, my cousin, is just trying to take care of her. So he's just full time, has to sit with her 24 hours a day, can't have a life or anything. And I never really was super close to the kid, and I randomly was talking to him lately, and he's a big gamer. So he said all he wants in the world is a PlayStation 5, where he sits there, unfortunately, having to watch his mom pass away. So I bought him a PlayStation 5 and a bunch of fucking games.
Oh, nice.
So.
Yeah, it's like, I don't, like, I tried to have my grandparents, but they're the worst. Because, like, they used to have 2 cars. They had this, okay, so it's kind of weird. They had 2 cars. One of them was an old Saturn from like 93 that had like hardly any miles on it. They gave it to this guy who used to do, Dan, who was the handyman who passed away. He's working on his Jeep and the jack slipped and it crushed him in his driveway. He lived 2 houses down from my uncle, so he was like a good family friend. He was actually supposed to do stuff to this place when I moved in. So they gave him that Saturn, and then they bought a used Honda Civic, and my grandpa would just drive it to work and stuff. And then they ended up giving that Civic to my cousin, the one who I got the pepper spray for. And I was like, well, don't you need a second car? And they're all like, no, we're fine. I was like, well, let me get you a second. I was like, let me just buy you another Honda Civic or something like that for a couple grand. It's not that bad. And my grandma, I was in the kitchen talking to her, and she took out a wooden spoon out of the drawer and started beating me with it. She's like, ah, buy me a damn car. What is wrong with you? I was like, okay. So then I was like, hey, your driveway sucks. You know, it's probably like $1,500 to get it repaved. Let me get it repaved for you. She just started yelling and bitching about that. So I got them a $500 Home Depot gift card because I was like, well, they can't return this. They have to accept it. And then I got my uncle a gnome of the Raiders because he's a big Raiders fan. I got grandma a foot massager and a cardinal. She likes cardinals for some reason, some weird cardinal thing.
Very specific.
Grandpa got a new neck pillow because his old one's raggedy, and a book. And some other stuff too.
One of my friends got me a big old plush dumpster fire. And you can open it up, and it has like a little storage spot in there. And inside was a bath bomb because I love bath bombs. And I'm super obsessed with Smoothie King. So it has like a $50 gift card to Smoothie King. I was like, oh, wait, this is like my best gift is a fucking dumpster.
Like, I don't like, that's the thing for like buying gifts for me. It's like, I don't need anything.
Yeah.
If you find something Knicks related, you could buy that. That's a good thing. Socks, boxer briefs. I don't wear socks a lot, but sometimes during the winter, I'll wear them in the house. So like socks and boxer briefs are cool. And then like, that's it. That's all maybe some razors. I like razors. I don't like buying razors. Is a T2 arcade cabinet worth, send them rollies. I don't even have a rollie. I got an Armani. Is that T2 arcade cabinet worthwhile? I think if you get it for $300, it is. Cause that's a super fun game. It's only one game. Like when that shit came out, that's the thing, dude. Like all the new ones, like T2, Blitz, all these cabinets are selling for like $200-$300 now. And it's like, should have been the price in the first place. What's a Christmas song I can't stand? Like, I wouldn't say there's a Christmas song I can't stand, but there's like an artist I can't stand that does Christmas shit all the time. Michael Bublé, go away. I don't know who you are, but you need to go away. If you're not Michael Bolton, you're not Elvis, you know, something like that, like go away, bro. Nobody asked you to cover the Christmas classics. Like Mariah Carey doesn't bother me. I used to be a Mariah Carey fan.
Really?
Like, because I remember when she was like, this is gonna be bad to say, but like Mariah Carey, when she first came out, she was just like a white girl, and nobody knew that she was like, she actually had like African American in her. And then all of a sudden, like the mid 90s, I remember she did the joint with Boys to Men, One Sweet Day. And then all of a sudden she started going more into the hip hop side of things. And like some of those songs are fucking bangers. Like Honey, like that's a fucking great ass song. Yeah, like the fucking locks on there and shit. Like that was fucking tight. But she was married to that dude who was like a record producer, and he was just like a straight laced white dude. And then Mariah Carey got wild. Psychosis patient, appreciate you, broski. Keep it up. I will try, man. Okay, yeah, Mariah Carey ODB. The fucking fantasy remix, like that shit was tight, dude. Did stuff with Bone Thugs and stuff. Like she was really probably one of the first like real crossover artists from pop to more hip hop vibes. Like she, you know, people won't give her credit, but I think she did a lot for hip hop as far as helping it in the eyes of the mainstream. Just my opinion. Did I ever have a pager? My dad had a pager, and I took it from him once, but like I couldn't figure out how to work it. Pagers were really just for businessmen and drug dealers.
My dad had one, but it was a weird thing where, and maybe this is how all pagers work, you'd call a number, and a lady would pick up, and you would tell her what to type, and then it would send it to him. And I never knew what to say because I was a little kid, so I'd always be like, call Max, or something like that.
Yeah, like there was a lot of stuff like that. Well, I mean, like Salt and Pepper and TLC, like for sure, but I don't think Salt and Pepper and TLC, I don't think they had the early 90s white audience like Mariah Carey did. You know what I'm saying? Because they came out and it was more of a hip hop flavor, whereas Mariah Carey came out as like just a generic white pop star. And then all of a sudden crossed over more into the hip hop thing, and I think brought a lot of people with her. And then in retrospect, they checked out acts like Salt and Pepper and TLC. So I feel like it probably helped them out tremendously in the mainstream. But I mean, TLC was pretty big. But you got to remember, like, you had like Waterfalls and stuff. The Crazy Sexy Cool album was very hot for them. But what was their biggest song? It was No Scrubs in, you know, the 2000s. Yeah, I never really got, I was a little too young for the pager deal, but I knew people who had pagers, because even when you had cell phones, dealers still used pagers because, you know, it was safer, I guess.
I remember so clearly that when cell phones first started to exist, like in an affordable sense, the tinier phones, the flip phones and stuff, I remember seeing those pretty often. And I remember that at the time I really, really loved AOL Instant Messenger.
Oh, so
and I remember being like, damn, I don't want a cell phone. I want AOL Instant Messenger in my pocket. Like, I was trying to, in my brain, with the very limited vocabulary of the time, come up with the idea of like group chats and stuff before that existed.
Oh, No Pigeons was fucking great, dude. Sporty Thieves, baby. I love No Pigeons. That was some good shit. That was back in the day when you had a hot song, people would make a reaction to it. Those were fun times. Okay, I'm from 85.
What's his
RGT
name?
85. What's your favorite 90s to early 2000s song? That's tough. Like, I mean, you gotta at least give me a genre.
Yeah, right. That's too big.
Give me a genre. What is my favorite band? Minus Tool. I like Tool. Sometimes I think Tool goes too much into their tropes, though. Like, I don't know, some of their shit just drags out to me, and it's like, let's be weird to be weird. Once again, that's very tough for me. I would need a give me a genre of a band, Christian, and I'll do that. Favorite rap song from the 90s to 2000s. Fuck, that's tough. Troublesome 96 is definitely up there by Tupac. I used to love that song. I mean, Wu-Tang Forever came out in 97. That whole album's amazing. You had 3-6 Mafia coming up with Chapter 2 World Domination. Julius Randle's not being traded to the Kings. Who would they get? I know the priest is fit, 'cause I watch him fall away.
I think my favorite band currently, I'm really into this electro swing band called Caravan Palace. They like sing very, very 50s style swing music, but with like electronic synthesizers and shit. It's very, very unique. I love that shit. I don't know. The older I get, the more I just kind of want music to be different and cool.
Fuji's the Score, bro. That's a fucking album. That's an album I didn't appreciate when I was younger, but as an adult, like, yeah, that's some good shit. I mean, I liked it, but as an adult, I definitely appreciate it more. Project Pat does deserve more credit. I think Project Pat gets his flowers with 3-6 now, though, because like Project Pat's kind of coming to his own, you know. But like, yeah, Mr. Don't Play is still one of the best. Favorite 90s R&B song? That's the peak of R&B. Like Candy Rain, I guess. My love, do you ever dream of candy golden raindrops? You're the same, my candy rain. I like Will Smith. I got no problem with Will Smith getting jiggy with it. Bone Thugs, Art of War. Yeah, that is a good song. All right, thank you. Merry Christmas. Sorry. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. As we ride by the end of the night, you will know how thugs does play. Can you handle the fight? Thoughts on DSP gaming? He jerked off on stream, man. Like
that man begs for money so much. I don't know why, but my Twitter algorithm keeps giving me DSP gaming clips, and that guy is just always acting like, guys, I can't eat. And then the next like minute he'll be like, hey, I got so much money. Like, what is wrong with you?
So I like Babyface. What's the one song? Madonna and Babyface. What was their song? Oh, Take a Bow. Take a Bow is a fucking banger. I love that song. And it's funny how Babyface does the higher pitch vocals on it. Charlie Ward, god damn. Charlie Ward, big dono. Max, I agree. Nintendo seriously needs to move on from the Switch. If they don't, other Chinese companies will. The hybrid scene is rampant right now. Check out the up-and-coming GPD Win 4. Looks like a PSP. ETA Prime reviewed it today. Mary Crimbo, please give half to Max. Max, I got you for the 50 spot, brother.
Fucking hell yeah. Charlie's been giving great chats this entire fucking stream.
Yeah, Charlie's good people. I've known Charlie for a while.
I'm going to Google this specifically. He's mentioned this thing, GPD Win 4. I'm literally Googling
So,
it right now.
you know what the GPD Win is? They had the GP Win XD. That was like the first, it was the flip screen thing that had like a keyboard, but it also had analog sticks.
Oh, what the hell? Huh.
They were very popular before a lot of the Chinese companies started coming along and doing some of the shit that they were kind of doing, and just, you know, making system after system after system. But like the GPD Win XD, I believe it was called, was like the big thing for emulation back in the day. I'm not familiar with the 4 though.
It looks like this has still got a Kickstarter thing going to it. I'm looking at it on the Indiegogo right now. Smallest 6800U handheld console. AMD 900, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte storage. Yeah, it looks. I mean, this looks like
that bitch has an SSD in it. God damn.
It says the basic price will be $1,000.
So I guess it's trying to be like a Steam. I don't know. I like
it. Looks like a Steam Deck Pro. It looks like a Steam Deck Pro to me.
Yeah, I like the ergonomics of it. Like, I think it looks nice. It's got the full keyboard. It's basically like they're like basically mini PCs, you know.
Yeah.
But they're fucking. They're crazy. I mean, they raised $1 million already. They were only asking for $2,500. What's up, DC Fat Cat? Merry Christmas.
I'm a little bit suspicious. They raised $1 million from 1,000 backers. Doesn't that mean that every person gave $10,000?
Well, that's a good. Well, let's see. Don't go away. Only essentials. So 182 to the $1,200. 87 to the another $1,200. 153. 46, 21, 228. So yeah, I would say the $800 one is probably going to be the most budget friendly, and I use that term loosely.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't have the SSD in it. I mean, it's a monster though. Like, that's fucking crazy. And you can dock it too. Better than a Steam Deck, and it supports Steam OS.
Dude, that's fucking awesome actually.
I like the Retroid Pocket. I think that's a good system.
I kind of want to buy and review this thing and say, like, I bought the most expensive handheld in the world. It's good clickbait.
I mean, it could run Forza Horizon 5 on low settings at 100 to 125 frames per second.
Dude, hell yeah.
I mean, it's pretty impressive. Fucking ultra settings on FIFA 22 over 100 frames. Chill Jill, Merry Christmas. Absolutely love your channel. Thank you, Chill Jill. I appreciate you. What is my favorite Dreamcast game that's not Sonic? Shenmue. What kind of question is that?
Oh, dude, hell yeah. Shenmue for life.
Resident Evil Code Veronica is another great one. I don't care what anyone says.
I know. Dude, it's weird. The Code Veronica hate that's popped up in the last couple of years confuses the shit out of me.
I don't get it either.
It's great. It's honestly such an interesting blend because it's an HD game with the classic controls. I love it.
It's a lot smaller than a Steam Deck too. Like, when you look at the size comparison, like, I think that's pretty sweet. And then it shows you the different cores. They pretty much wanted to be like, fuck you, Steam Deck. We're making this. Like, that's what all the comparisons. They ain't even talking about the Switch.
Yeah, right. Switch who? Never heard of her.
Yeah. Shenmue 3 was a big disappointment, dude. I don't know. It didn't have the magic of the first two games at all.
I have a video that I never put out. I ended up deleting the RAW, so I can't even upload it now. But I right after I beat Shenmue 3, I was so pissed. I made a video called "Screw the Ending of Shenmue 3," and at the end I was like, "Look, I don't want you to kill Lan Di, but I wanted an ending. There's like no story in Shenmue 3 at all.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's just like you just tread water in the game, and then you get to the end, and you're like, I waited fucking 20 years for this. Like, fuck you."
He like does one tiny punch, and then fucking Lan Di just throws you and walks off. It's like, what the hell?
It's ridiculous. That franchise is gonna. I mean, it's gonna flop now.
He killed it. I mean, it's so weird that Yu Suzuki got a second fucking chance. It's like you bang that hot girl, and then you say something stupid and she leaves you, and she comes back later on and you say something else stupid. Like, why did you fuck it up twice?
Do I still get excited when people gift you games and you can go out and buy it yourself? People don't really gift me games, but they'll gift me gift cards, and then I could buy things that I wanted, but didn't feel like buying with my own money. So I would say yes.
Now, I got a question for you, Sean. Do you still get, because I feel like I get so giddy, do you get excited when they send you a review code? Because it blows my mind to be like the first person in a world to play a game I'm excited about.
Oh, yeah. Especially if it's a game that like I really wanted, or I really wanted to play and stuff like that. And sometimes it's not even like games you would necessarily think of. Like when I got House of the Dead remake review code, I was like, fuck yeah, this is great. And it's like, I've had bigger games, but it's like, I love House of the Dead. So to be one of the first few people to be able to play that game, and I overscored it and I gushed about it, but I don't care. I said that in my video. I was like, this is not going to be a biased video at all. I mean, well, no, it is going to be a biased video. It's not going to be an unbiased video at all because I'm a huge fan. D-Moore, happy holidays, man. Now dance for me in this endless hell. That dude, I don't understand. Why is everyone just like dancing around in the fucking game? They're just like watching you, like cheering you on. It's like, fucking help me here. Help me. Go get some fucking statues. You have abilities that I don't have. Fuck that game.
Bro, I was pretty excited for Shredder's Revenge, but when I got that review code and I sat down and I started playing it, my girlfriend at the time sat down with me and we beat the whole game co-op. And the fact that it was like so fucking brilliant, it was like, what the hell? Like, it was like confusing to me. Like, how did they make the best beat 'em up ever?
Speaking of beat 'em ups, I want to check out the Shredder's Revenge. Did you see that patch they did?
Yeah.
They added like dip switches to it and stuff. Peter, do I like Lauryn Hill of the 90s? Yeah, I mean, I was a casual. I like the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill isn't a CD that I've like super explored even in retrospect. But like I was saying, the Fugees, you know, the score, like I was just kind of, you know, whatever when it first came out. But you know who was a big fan of that album? Pecker Dupree. He was a huge fan of that album when we were kids, and I was just kind of like, I was more into metal stuff at that age. But then in retrospect, just listening to it, it's like, holy fuck, like this is a generational album. Didn't you play Signalis?
I
MVG?
did.
I mean, MVG Dreamcast guy.
It's great. It's super. It feels just like, to me anyways, it feels just like Resident Evil 1. It's got like a lot of notes. It's got really interesting puzzles, very limited ammo. It's so fucking incredible.
Of course you can, Matthew Hannigan. Matthew Hannigan. Shout outs to Matthew Hannigan's niece, Kayla. Have a Merry Christmas. Hope you were a good girl this year so that Santa brings you some fun stuff. The Streets of Rage 2 mod that uses a Shredder's Revenge assets? No, I haven't. That sounds...
Yeah, there's no way. Streets of Rage 2.
Streets of Rage 2 mod.
Shredder's Revenge. What the fuck? This just came out.
There's a video from 5 hours ago that I'm about to watch after I watch this ad because...
Holy shit. What the fuck?
Is it
looks so good.
Oh, okay.
It's Casey Jones. I remember reading about this, that the Streets of Rage games, like code, it just like the way it's written is like so basic you can just swap out assets.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a ton of Streets of Rage 2 mods, but like this is like, I would assume, so you gotta have RetroArch with the Genesis plus GX core. What does that mean? I mean, obviously I could do that. It's an open source. So could you run that on an actual Genesis? Like, I guess that's my question.
I don't think so. Or if you could, I bet it'd have terrible slowdown. You ever see? I have it and I played it a couple times, but somebody made what do they call it? Resident Evil of Rage, and it's Streets of Rage. It's Resident Evil 2 built in Streets of Rage. So you walk around just punching zombies.
Wait, when did fucking Oh wow, I didn't even know Speaker Knockers was dead. I just thought he quit making music. That's news to me. Excised.
It's kind of like quitting.
Yeah, because Rico's story was fucking awesome. Merry Christmas, Ramon. Reza Ramon. PS5 or Switch version of Shredder's Revenge. I mean, if you want to play it portably, like Shredder's Revenge is still a game that looks and runs great on the Switch in handheld mode, to where it's not like a discernible downgrade in quality in any way.
The trophies are fun. That's what I'll say. PS5 version.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you
it's
want
not special, but it's got trophies.
If
I
you
like
want,
those.
if you want trophies, I know that ain't who I motherfucking think it is. Nick 93. What happened? What happened to AD? I told you, Anthony Davis is a bum, a glass-legged bum.
Whoa.
Bum. He can't stay healthy. I don't give a fuck if you score 100 points in a game. If you cannot stay healthy, that's it. You're worthless. Season's over. Y'all boys ain't even making the playoffs unless you make some big trades. And I got two people that you might want. Evan Fournier, who could shoot the three, and Cam Reddish, who could defend. Let's talk. Let's talk. Give me Pat Beverly. Give me Pat Beverly and a draft pick. I'll do it right now. But I want to see Dead Rising on the Nintendo Switch. Hell yeah.
Dude, yeah. I think I'm going to go eat some food. But
All right, broski.
I love y'all chat. Thanks for having me on, Sean. If y'all want to watch a stream sort of like this, but less entertaining, go subscribe to Dreamcast Guy.
Max, DM or just DM me your PayPal and I'll send you that money from Charlie.
I'll do it right now. All right, later, guys.
All right, broski. Later. It doesn't. If you're playing a team game and you're constantly getting injured and you're one of the main points of the team, you're not a worthless player, but you become worthless to the team because now the team has to constantly keep an injury-prone player. Some of the greatest players of all time had their careers derailed by injuries, which gives us what-if situations. Derrick Rose. That's one of the biggest what-if situations ever. Brandon Roy. Greg Oden. Like, you could be a great player, but you become a detriment to the team if you're constantly hurt. You know what I'm saying? If you're constantly having issues and you're constantly having injuries, that doesn't help propel the team. I will say it's impressive that LeBron is still playing at the level he is, though. Right, Tim, but that comes down to Jetty Bus and shit. Like, you got to build a team around. You were on the twilight of LeBron's career, and you got him out there playing with fucking nobodies. A bunch of fucking ragtag nobodies. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I'm serious, dude. Derrick Rose should have been the second coming of Christ, but, like, it's crazy. I think LeBron's got to walk. I think LeBron has to force a trade out of there. Go back to Cleveland. I don't know. See, I don't know if Cleveland's going to want that, though, because they're building more so towards the immediate future and the present with what they've got going right now. They're a top caliber team. Nice, Noah. I'm ready for the bounce back for the Knicks tonight. I'm hoping we get that get out of Domantas Sabonis. Boo this man. I like Sabonis as a player, but he is Julius Randle's bitch. Whenever it doesn't matter if Sabonis was on the fucking Pacers or the Kings. Julius Randle hates that man, and he always just bodies him. I like Sabonis, though. I wish he would have been maybe a Knick. Oh, Christopher. Christopher, you sound like me when the Knicks suck. Bro, I watched Sabonis. I've been watching Sabonis. I watched his father. Appreciate you, Rodrigo. Hey. Okay, first off, I never said Julius was good at defense. Because Siakam bodied him. Siakam bodied the whole team. I'll give him that. But you know what? that was a personal vendetta against me, because on this channel, I have said before, I feel that Siakam is not the man, but he's a great second man. And he proved to me that he could be a great first man, you know. But if you got something that works and they can't stop you, I mean, I don't see that as a knock. The worst games of 2022 and a couple great ones. I really didn't play too many bad games this year because I was kind of selective with the games I played. I would say the Alan Wake remaster on the Switch was the worst. That was fucking abysmal. Yeah, bro, like Christopher and Nick, I've been watching the Lakers. I have League Pass, good sir, and I don't sleep. But Nick, I think Nick and Christopher are related. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Who finishes with a better record of this year, Kings or the Knicks? I say the Knicks. Because what are the Kings? The Kings are 16 and something. I mean, here's the thing. Oh, I hate the fucking fake imposters on my channel. I've tried a million things and nothing seems to work. I need to check out what Charlie sent me, though. So the Knicks are 18 and 14. The Kings are 17 and 13. You know what? Who asked that question? It was Tim Richards. Tim, I might actually give you the Kings, but let me tell you why. It's not because I think the Kings are a better team. I think the Knicks are a better team than the Kings. But the Kings are going to be playing a lot of West Coast teams, more so than East Coast teams. And I feel like the East Coast, the Eastern Conference, is stronger than the Western Conference this year by far. So I feel like you might actually have a better record overall. I haven't checked it out yet, Charlie, but I'm going to, like, probably tonight.
What are you talking about?
Nate! We got another guest! Nate the Hate! Max was on here earlier. I mean, he just left. And now we've got you. We're talking about basketball because we got Christopher and Nick, who are both Lakers fans. And then we have Tim Richards, who's a Kings fan. I think this is the first Kings fan I've ever had on this channel.
Who likes the Kings?
Tim Richards. Got Nate the Hate in the building. How's your Christmas Eve going?
That's very stormy, very windy.
Bro, how bad was the wind for you last night?
It was unbelievable.
I was laying in bed. I went to bed at like 1. And I was like getting a nice night's sleep. It's 5 a.m. Every 2 seconds, it sounds like someone's trying to break in my house. Just like things are clattering all over the place. I couldn't sleep. I went downstairs because it was a little bit quieter. I slept on the couch for 2 hours until 7. I went back upstairs, slept till like 8:30, and then I was up and I was like, fucking hell, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, I had wind this morning that legit shook like the entire house.
Yeah, it was nuts. Like finally it's died down, but
Oh, it's still wild here right now.
it's a lot calmer and the rain has pretty much stopped, but do I have ghosts in this house? I don't think so. It was built in the 70s.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Have you had an interaction with them?
Typically the interactions are just kind of like the house will be silent and then you'll hear footsteps.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, a little bit. I've made peace with them. We understand each other, so I don't bother them, they don't bother me.
I checked for asbestos when I got a inspection before I moved in. There's a couple tiles in this closet here that's just used for storage right now that has some asbestos under it, like very light, but I'm gonna have that redone sometime in 2023 anyways. But yeah, that wind, I could not sleep because I'm a light sleeper anyways, and I was just like, Nick93, the Lakers fan with the dono. Got to give your Knicks props. You guys went on a nice little win streak. Which players most impressed you the most on the Knicks so far? Quentin Grimes. I watched him a lot in Summer League, and I was like, this kid is a talent. And it was a shame that he wasn't getting a chance to play and sort of play through mistakes and stuff like that. But now that he's in the starting lineup, like, that run happened when they inserted Quentin Grimes into the lineup. He's a great, great, great defender. And that game against Toronto, although Toronto didn't shoot the ball that well, that would have been a much better foil for Siakam. Even though Siakam's got like 5-6 inches in height on him, I still feel like his defensive style would have stifled him a little bit more. Basically, what I'm saying is we would have won that Toronto game if Quentin Grimes was playing. You know, Deuce McBride is a great defender too, but he's also smaller than Quentin Grimes is. He's only like 6'2". Quentin Grimes is like 6'5". And then Jalen Brunson, of course. Jalen Brunson is just fuck Reggie Miller. Jalen Brunson is a beast. Do the Giants upset the Vikings tomorrow? God, I hope so.
That is a tall ask.
It is, but I think it is it at it's not the Meadowlands anymore. Met Bank Arena? What the fuck do they call it? Is it a home game or an away game?
Let me check.
Oh, it's in Minnesota.
It's in Minnesota? Yeah.
Cold like Minnesota. What's the weather there? The weather's got to be dog shit, I would assume.
Are they in a dome?
They are. Are they? All right, it's -2 right now. I-90 is closed. There's a polar vortex coming in right now. U.S.
I mean,
Bank
the Vikings
Stadium.
have been playing some streaky football. They've been it's Kirk Cousins. He's a fraud.
He is a fraud. I say they should open the dome. Play a real game of football. That is... So the dome has a transparent roof and walls. So it's just going to be like white with all the fucking snow on it. B. Martin, Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Hope you have a great holiday season. Yeah, Jay Williams would have been great. Oh, dude, Christopher. The Timberwolves are fucking idiots. Danny Ainge fleeced the fuck out of them. What up, Jazzman? Yeah, the Timberwolves got fucking... They ruined their... Well, first off, anyone with a brain should have looked at it and been like, Cat and Rudy Gobert. That doesn't really make sense. This isn't... If this was 1990s, 95, 96, and you got that twin tower setup, okay, it makes a little more sense. You could do it in short spurts where you have, two really center style players playing at once, but you can't do it for a majority of the game. Talk about Danielle Marshall. It's Don UConn legend, son. Legend. You should watch him with Calhoun all the time. That's lame that it's in a dome. I would have liked to have seen a nice snow game. I mean, I'm sure we'll get some sort of snow game.
Yeah, there's a lot of games tomorrow, so...
Danielle Marshall also played for the Cavs, though. I remember he played for the Cavs because when I would play as the Cavs in NBA Live 05 or 06 or something, because I wanted to play with LeBron, you had Danielle Marshall. And Danielle Marshall, you just post him up in the corner. Bulls might lose Zach LaVine. No, Zach LaVine's gone. I don't think DeRozan's going anywhere. I don't think Vucevic is going anywhere. They've actually talked about potentially having Zach LaVine come to the Knicks, but he hasn't played defense, so it would be kind of pointless because you would essentially have to take out Quentin Grimes unless you're moving RJ Barrett to the bench, which I don't see them doing. -48 Celsius in Saskatchewan today with wind chill. Reviewed Garfield lasagna party. Our respondent will beat you up. The thing about... I'm pretty sure Danielle Marshall hit 8 threes in a game. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there, and we're going to look it up right now. The thing about Garfield lasagna party is it's a local multiplayer game.
And I don't think John could beat you up anyways.
Yeah. Danielle Marshall made 12 three-pointers in one game. 12 three-pointers. And we're going to slander Doniel Marshall, Don Ute, as we used to call him. 12 3-pointers. That's crazy. 35 in Texas. Yeah, you got to fucking be knocking on wood that ERCOT doesn't go down, though. That's fucking crazy.
That's pretty cold.
It's really not that bad here today. Tomorrow's going to be the highest 20.
Tomorrow, because we're going to go from like 60 down to 25 in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, tomorrow's going to be brutal. High temperature, I think it's like 25 for me.
It's literally the highest 20 for me tomorrow. Intuition FJ, appreciate the dono. Charlie Ward, another dono. I'd be wary of inviting Hans Gruber in the building, see as it's Christmas. Well, he knows about Nakatomi Plaza from Call of Duty.
I do. I've flown helicopters into that plaza several times now. I've also escaped them all alive. I've adapted since my original invasion.
We played fucking terrible yesterday. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there.
I feel like we're unfocused lately.
Yeah. Oh, update. The high tomorrow is now going to be a toasty 19. Toasty 19 with a 12. And you know what the bad part is? I love cold stuff, but every night I'm staying at my grandparents' house tomorrow night for Christmas Eve, and they always turn off the heat at night. So that'll be fun.
Well, you don't even keep your heat at what, like 50?
It's at 62 or 63 right now because the maids came, but I'm gonna turn it down to 59 now.
I'm looking at the temperature for me tomorrow. By 8 a.m. tomorrow, the temperature will be 0.
Okay.
So that's something to look forward to.
What's the wind chill tomorrow? It's gonna be 9 tonight.
Wind chill for you looks like it might get to like -10.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning.
All right. I might have to cancel that Dunkin' Donuts date just for my sanity. I don't want to get out of the fucking car unless I absolutely have to.
We get a nice hot cup of coffee.
I don't drink coffee. I just wanted to go for a fucking donut. With
That's not worth.
rainbow
That's not worth
sprinkles
getting out
and
the car
chocolate
for.
icing.
Doesn't it have a drive-through?
What? No, it doesn't because it's in the middle of a complex. They're talking about adding a drive-through. What was your thing, Intuition? I'll read it now. Yeah, we're going to get back against the Bulls tonight. The Bulls are missing mad players. Caruso, who's their best defender, isn't playing. Let's see. Let me look at the... Oh, and Dragic isn't playing either, so I guess Kobe White's going to get... I don't know, but Kobe White can go off, you know. He can go off shooting threes. But I don't think he'll have a good game tonight. Wear the Snuggie. Bro, the whole fucking country is pretty much
You know, I have a sleeping bag suit. It's literally a sleeping bag with legs and arms. It's for like mountain climbers, and it can withstand temperatures up to like -30 and still keep you warm. Might just be walking around in that tomorrow.
Whenever I sleep I just sleep in my boxer briefs, but when it's cold, I'll wear a fucking beanie. Like the orange beanie I wear in my videos, I'll wear that when I'm sleeping. And just that and my boxer briefs. Because if your head stays warm, get out of here, Zach Day. They did beat twice last week.
If you keep your feet or your head warm, your body will regulate.
Yeah. I did not get the Xmas hoodie for my controller like Wolf did.
Wait, he actually bought one of those things?
Yes.
Why?
Because he's an idiot. I don't know. No, I don't know why he did, but he did. He probably did it for a video, so that at least makes a little bit of sense. Later, Charlie. Enjoy Shredder's Revenge. Thank you so much for the donos, brother. Appreciate you. Have a Merry Christmas, man. Here at night, what I hear is the loose roof, randomly some junkies, and the herds of cats making the eeriest sounds. I tend to disassociate at night. Do I have problems sleeping? Yes, Christian. I am a terrible sleeper. Some nights I'll sleep for 12 hours. Some nights I'll sleep for 3 or 4 hours. And my brain always works its best at night. I was literally laying in bed last night trying to sleep, and I started thinking of the Metal Gear Solid 3 video I wanted to make, and I was just scripting it in my head. I was like, okay, so we're going to talk about the transition from 2 to 3. We're going to talk about the introduction of Naked Snake as the main character. We'll talk about his backstory. We'll talk about the different character groups in the game, such as the boss with her affiliates, who I thought were the weakest part of the game. Some of them had interesting enough stories, like the one guy who went to Mars or the moon or something, and he came back and he was like a villain. And then the end was pretty cool, but like the fear, he was kind of lame. And then we got to talk about Colonel Volgin, and then we got to talk about Riding Cough, and then we got to talk about the new gameplay elements that they like. I just started like going in my head, and I was like, fuck, I need to fucking just wake up and film it. But I was like, no, it's cold.
That's why you need a notebook near your bed. Jot down ideas.
I don't really forget much stuff though, because like this is, you gotta talk about all the different the GRU operatives. You gotta talk about Raiden, because or not Raiden, Ocelot, because you see his upbringing and stuff. Then you gotta talk about the gameplay elements, such as the stealth, the different camos that they introduce, the food system, the injury system, the fucking all that stuff. How Ocelot really wasn't the bad guy in the game. You know, he turns around and ends up helping you. The fact that it touches on real world things. God. The Omega Red. Why doesn't EA make an NHL game for Switch? Like an NHL 4 mode for PS4 NHL games. Also, Spawnwave phoned me. He wants to arm wrestle you live. Do it. I will see. I could arm wrestle him. But what you won't see is, because arm wrestle is just one hand, so we'll go right to right, and then with my left hand, I have a taser, and I'll tase him in the leg, and then while he's getting shook and shocked, and his body's going in there, bam, I'll win.
While he's convulsing.
While he's convulsing. I don't know why they haven't done that, because yeah, you're right. You did have the NHL 94 remake with the modern players on PlayStation. EA just doesn't care, because the problem is, no matter what anyone tells you, and I know this is going to get me in trouble, and that's fine. I don't care. Most Western companies with most of their games do not care about Nintendo, simply because of the fact that Nintendo doesn't care about them. And you can have all these Japanese franchises, you can have all these Japanese properties, and they're great because some of them get worldwide, pushes and stuff like that. But to solely focus, I shouldn't say solely focus, to primarily focus on the Japanese market when it comes to your style of games and your type of games is just bizarre to me, considering that market is literally 1/10 of everything that you do. When your biggest market is North America, when your biggest market is the United States, even Europe isn't that big of a market, South America. The United States is like 80% of your stuff, and just the fact that Nintendo just pretty much acts like that doesn't exist for the most part is just bizarre to me. And it's because some of their titles, such as Mario Kart 8, it appeals to everyone. Animal Crossing, it appeals to everyone, but I don't know, it's just weird. The Western market is increasingly wanting Japanese style games. Show me a Japanese style game that sells as much as a God of War, as a Horizon, as primarily Western focused games. I'm not saying that there's not anomalies to that, and I'm not saying that Japanese style games can't be successful. But look at you want to talk about a Japanese style game? Look at Crisis Core. Crisis Core just came out, multi-platform release. You know what it sold best on? The PlayStation 5 in Japan. A system that hasn't even eclipsed 3 million units sold, where the Nintendo Switch has an install base of 27 million plus. It sold best on the PlayStation 5 at a fraction of the sales. So it's not as clear cut as a lot of people make it out to be, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's definitely, I'd want to know, what is their definition here of Japanese style games?
I would assume more RPG style stuff.
Yeah, because I could look at what Capcom is putting out there. Like Resident Evil 4 Remake, I wouldn't call a Japanese style game.
No, that's really, because even if you look at the first game, like what did it sell better on? What did Resident Evil or Biohazard sell better on PlayStation 1? I actually want to look that up because I don't know that question. Versus Biohazard. We're playing Feliz Navidad on loop, by the way.
Oh, that's a good song.
It's the karaoke version, so I don't get claimed. So Resident Evil 1. Like, I want a breakdown though. Like, it doesn't break it down for me. I would assume that the first Resident Evil game sold better in the United States than it did in Japan, and that was at a peak of Japan.
Let's see.
It's kind of that's Resident Evil 2. Why are you giving me that? Resident Evil Deadly Silence didn't sell well at all. Jesus fuck.
It's actually pretty rare now. It's valuable.
I know. That's why I'm glad I still have it. It's a great version of the game.
It is. Having the map on the screen really
Dude,
makes navigation
so
a lot easier, and you can see where you drop the items to go back to pick them up.
Sales. It was a bestseller in Japan, Europe. Okay, it's in Japan. So they give me a Japanese number, but they don't give me. So in 1996, it sold 1 million units in Japan. But what did it sell in North America? Next Generation Magazine talked about it in 96. Your favorite gaming YouTuber. I value your opinions over everyone else's. You're awesome. Donald Trump versus Caitlyn Jenner in the Octagon. Who wins? Who is Caitlyn Jenner dated? I need to look that up. Partners. Oh, god damn. Caitlyn Jenner is okay. I'm thinking of one of the daughters. Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner's a fucking athlete. Like, fucking Olympic gold medalist here. Alright, I got a web archive. Why can't I find this? This is so bizarre to me.
I can't get a regional breakdown. I can just get it was over 1 million in Japan. It was 1 million in the US. And that the original version sold 2.75 million copies, while the director's cut sold an additional 2.3. But I can't get the breakdown.
It looks pretty similar, though. It looks pretty even, actually. More even than I thought. But I think as time went on, Resident Evil started to become more assimilated with North American.
Yeah. I would say like Resident Evil 2 probably sold best in North America.
That sold almost 5 million copies. Jesus Christ. Well, here, I mean, we could probably... So that sold almost 5 million total.
Resident Evil 2 was a big booster for that.
I mean, Resident Evil was like... That was just an amazing game. I remember renting it. I know I've told that story before, but I rented it, and I didn't know you had to have a memory card with a PlayStation 1, because I rented that and a PlayStation 1. And got to the yawn. The yawn killed me, and that was it. And I was like, motherfucker, what the fuck?
I've always associated the PlayStation 1, that sound, to Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
Because the way it transitions into like the title screen of that game was just perfect. Let me see if I can find the sales breakdown.
Damn. By August of 98, 2.3 million copies of Resident Evil 4 were sold in Japan. So it's got to be pretty damn close. Because it sold roughly 5 million on the vanilla version, the non-DualShock version. So it was about half. It was about half. I'm sorry, I'm not even reading the chat.
Oh yeah.
I'm down this rabbit hole of Resident Evil sales. I mean, that's
Resident Evil just, man, that franchise was ridiculous during the PS1 generation.
It really was. It was just crazy. Call of Duty 1 and 2 each sold around 3 to 4 times as much on Xbox than GameCube. Yeah, I mean, it's partly, I mean, really, you know, I talked about this in my video where I talk about Nintendo's biggest failures, but like, Nintendo made the PlayStation. If it was not for Nintendo, the PlayStation would have never existed. And I'm not even necessarily just talking about the whole CD-ROM drive attachment thing. I'm talking about Square. Because Square didn't want to do those fucking cartridges. And then PlayStation had this technology that they had worked on with the Super Nintendo CD system. They decided to make their own console, and Square went right to them. It's kind of weird that Square completely skipped Sega, though. Like, what if Square had worked on the Sega Saturn instead of the PlayStation? Would that have transformed everything? Yeah, I mean, Nintendo did. I mean, I wouldn't say they necessarily did them dirty, but yeah, to some extent, I guess you would. BitCloud Gaming, Merry Christmas, bro. Merry Christmas to you, man. Hope you've been doing well. I've been catching some of your streams. I'm a lurker, though. A bit of a lurker. Fuck Phillips. Maybe that's, you know what? Maybe that's why Nintendo of America has no power. Because of Howard fucking Lincoln. Because I think Howard Lincoln just fucked everything up sometimes. And then Nintendo Japan was like, all right, that's it. We're done. We're done with the Americans. We're done with the Gaijins.
Hey, he had some good ideas.
But see, Nintendo hasn't always been the family console. During the fucking 16-bit era, you could make a case that the SNES had more adult games on it. The SNES had Wolfenstein. The SNES had Doom. The SNES, yes, the first Mortal Kombat, they had the sweat thing or whatever. But then they rectified it in Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat 3 and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. You had Weapon Lord. Like,
yeah, like the family concept really didn't become prevalent in mainstream conversation until they released a purple lunchbox with the GameCube, with Pikmin and Luigi's Mansion as launch games versus the PlayStation 2, which was established, and Xbox, which had Halo and Ninja Gaiden. The GameCube looked kiddie, and that stigma stuck since 2001.
And I think Wind Waker didn't help that conversation either. Great game, but let's be realistic. When we first all saw that art style, we were like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it just kept that image that the GameCube was a child's console while the other two platforms were putting out this mature action, kick-ass looking games, and we were like, yay, we got this Zelda game. Can't wait to show this off to friends. What are they playing? Oh, they're playing Halo 2. I got Mario Sunshine, though, with that great commercial of, you know, clean is better than dirty.
I have not played Skyrim with mods intuition because I don't want to get banned. But okay, so Spyro Spyro says, so didn't Genesis get games like sports to market to older consumers? All of those same sports games that came out on the Genesis, like the Maddens, the NBA Lives, they also came out on the Super Nintendo. Nintendo also made their own sports games with Ken Griffey Jr.'s baseball. And let's be realistic here. Great game, and you had probably the best spokesman of that time, because Ken Griffey Jr. to baseball was Michael Jordan to basketball at that time frame. It was Griffey, it was Gretzky, and it was Jordan. Those are the big three. And they had, you know, they owned a portion of the Seattle Mariners too. They also made those basketball games too.
Yeah, NBA Courtside. They had Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, NBA's Courtside, Kobe Bryant, which is still the only NBA game where you can choose how long you want to hang on the rim, and if you hang for too long, you'll get a technical foul. Jordan. Sup, bass music reactions?
Agassi?
No, Agassi was the shit for tennis, bro. He was better than Sampras.
Ooh, that's a debate.
As far as like the cool factor, because he had the long mullet. That was fake, but Sega had Joe Montana, but they also, like, look, you had Sega also made their NBA Action. I have way too many Sega sports titles here. So we got NBA Action 94 with a generic cover, but then NBA Action 95 was starring David Robinson, the Admiral, of course. You had the NFL Sports Talk with Joe Montana ended up getting rebranded to Primetime, starring Deion Sanders, who's, I mean, he was the shit back then. Let's see what else we got here. You had your Maddens. NBA Lives, your college football. But like Bulls versus Blazers, here's NFL 95. This had Chiefs Montana on it. It wasn't the sports talk anymore. But yeah, like Sega made a lot of sports games, but go in there. This whole fucking thing is gonna fall. Why are you not wanting to go? You might have a new goal. All right, there we go. You don't want to go into the right where it was originally. You wanted to go into the left. I mean, Sega did have a lot of sports. World Series Baseball, of course, was fucking great. Welcome to World Series Baseball. Me and my uncle used to play the home run derby and that all the time.
Man, think about how many baseball games we used to have back then. You had hardball.
You had RBI
baseball, RBI baseball, All-Star Baseball.
You had the one-off Frank Thomas Big Hurt Baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Triple Play. Triple Play came along from EA.
Yep.
And the sad thing was I rented every single one of these games.
You had Sony made theirs by, what was it, 989?
989. They had the, I forgot the name of it. You had GameCube had that game with, what was it, Jeff Bagwell on the cover?
Yeah.
That was a Nintendo property. Home Run King, I think it was called. You had Konami, bottom of the ninth.
Yep.
Then we had the aforementioned Griffey baseball games. There were so many.
Yeah, then you had like Dreamcast had the visual concepts. For
Fuck
the
off,
MLB
Jazz
2K.
Man. Fuck off, Jazz Man. I mean, then he had, you know, MVP baseball, Slugfest. Can't do that anymore.
Triple Play. Used to have so many options. Now we have
Inside Pitch.
show.
That was Xbox's game. Well, that was the thing. It was like with basketball games or football games. Sony made one, EA made one, 2K made one, Microsoft made one. Of all those things. So you had options. I'm allergic to cats, so I would probably never get one. Mike Roch, it's what gamers want for Christmas. You're not wrong, the Omega Red. Tony LaRussa, see if I have any. Here's RBI Baseball 93, or number 3, I should say. Generic guy, got real players, real 1990 stats, all 26 pro teams plus division championships, 83 to 89. There's a fecal stain on the bottom of this or something. I don't know what the fuck this is. Cart only, I probably have a bunch. Here's one we forgot. Here. ESPN Baseball Tonight.
Oh yeah.
ESPN had a baseball, a basketball. They had a NASCAR game as well.
Yep.
Played them all. You don't want to go back in there. Of course you don't. Come on. I don't understand. You take something out, you should be able to put it back in. Football.
Even the amount of like arcade games we had for football, basketball, like we'll never have NBA Street type stuff again.
No, we'll never have NBA Street. We'll never have NFL Blitz. We'll never have Slugfest. We'll never have the hockey stuff. I mean, the hockey stuff, you had Wayne Gretzky's 3-on-3, which is fucking baller. And then you had Wayne Gretzky's 98, which was the exact same game. Like, literally the exact same game.
NBA Street 1 and 2 on PlayStation 2 were legit probably two of the best games of that generation.
Yeah. Well, you had Street Hoops, too. I fucking love Street Hoops because the and one culture was popping off. The Professor! What's my rarest game? In terms of actual rarity, Spider-Man 32X, because they only made 1,500 of those. That's the thing about rare games. A lot of these games that are called rare games aren't really rare. Earthbound is not a rare game whatsoever. It sold over 300,000 copies when it first came out on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's not rare. It's desirable, which makes it different.
Yeah, valuable doesn't dictate rare.
But Spider-Man 32X is a rare
It's a
and
desirable
expensive game.
rare game.
Yeah.
Like,
But-
I have Dragon Ball GT Final Bout on PS1 with the original run. It had less than 10,000 copies printed for North America. It's worth dick, because it's a terrible game.
Steve says GoldenEye is a rare game and Banjo is a rare game. I mean, you're not wrong. You should sell your games. If I had to sell them, I would. You know, who knows? You know, some of these more heavy hitter things that I have might have to leave the collection. Whenever I figure out how much I got to put into that car. So, you know, never say never. But there's some things I'll never sell. You know, back when I had the P.O. box, like I have a good memory of stuff, and I know which games were given to me. Obviously, Panzer will stay with me till the end of time. Dragon Force will stay with me till the end of time. Anything heavy hitters. Hyperstone Heist. That was somebody had sent me that on the Genesis, so I'll never get rid of that. Man, there's certain games I'll never get rid of, regardless. But I do have some games that I have purchased that have gone up in price. If I ever develop a crack addiction, I'll flip them. Oh, yeah. Selling your games is tough, man. What'll happen to it when you're gone? What happens to anything when you're gone?
You arrange someone to bury it with you.
Yeah. Bury me with my money. So Redfall is getting a little bit of a delay, huh? Interesting.
Potentially. Not confirmed.
Can't say I'm surprised. Well, you can't delay a game that we don't know
Has
about.
no date.
Yeah. They probably did that on purpose.
If it does come out later than originally projected, that's just a bad sign for Microsoft's first half. Because now you have to figure Forza is going to get delayed a little bit due to that. Starfield now slips further into the year. And that's been the case with Microsoft. We always think, here it comes. We're finally going to get what they keep promising. And no, we have to delay the game by 2 months. So something's got to give at some point.
Geronimo, supposedly it's been pushed back internally by 6 weeks, according to Okami Games. But, 6 weeks from what? He's kind of positioning it in a May slot. Does that mean you don't have anything from Xbox until May? I don't know. Appreciate you, Schmegma Steve. Yes, sir, Jazzman. Sunset Riders. Have I done anything to the car yet? No, just what I've shown in my videos. It's sitting at a shop. He hasn't had a chance to look at it yet, though. He told me next week he's going to start working on it, though. He took one look at it and realized it would need a good bit of stuff, so he wanted to free up his schedule a bit. Yeah, I think I don't know. Some of these games that Microsoft is saying are coming out next year, I'm just not 100% sure. Starfield looks spooky to me. Are the Puerto Rican relatives bringing Coquito? I don't know what they're bringing. She'll probably bring a bunch of Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I should have her meet the girl at Dunkin' Donuts for me. But yeah, pick me up.
Sit there, be like, "Hi, I'm here for Sean." Girl will be like, "What?" She sends his regards.
We are physical with the dono. One must go forever. Genesis Model 1 or Model 2, and why? The Genesis Model 1 is technically the superior system. Nostalgia-wise, though, I will say the Genesis Model 1 is what has to go, because I think the Genesis Model 2 is a better looking system. And it's the first one I got. What kind of guitars do I have? I have a 6-string Jackson, a 7-string Ibanez, and an 8-string. I don't know what the 8-string is. It costs a pretty penny though. I don't think it's a Jackson. Like, I want to say Jackson, but I don't think it's a Jackson. I don't know. Any Wii U game suggestions before they are stupid expensive? I mean, I don't think people say that the Wii U is going to shoot up in price. I don't really think it will. I think the high price titles now are the ones that are going to be high price titles.
Yeah, like Devil's Third and what else is there?
Yeah, Devil's Third, and that's pretty much it. I don't know. Let me look it up. I have a basic Positive Grid Spark amp. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like a digital it's kind of like a digital amp that you can put in a bunch of pre-tones and make your own tones with it via your phone, and people can upload them, and you could download them onto the amp itself. It's actually really cool. Andrew Baina, which is a channel I watch for guitar stuff, he made a video on it, and it was only like $300, and I was like, well, you know, it's not bad, so let me check it out. And it's actually very good. The amount of stuff you can do with it is very impressive. All right, let's see here. Wii U.
For some reason, Game and Wario is like $115 complete in box.
What? So your limited edition stuff is crazy expensive. Devil's Third is $300. The Book of Unwritten Tales 2 is almost $300. That's ridiculous. Turbo Super Stunt Squad, another expensive game. Bundles. What the fuck is Into Elite? What is this? This doesn't even look real. Twilight Princess HD. Wow. Oh, that must be with the amiibo.
With the amiibo, yeah.
Let's see. Let's take a gander here. It's not. It's not.
Why? That wasn't a short print game. It sold millions.
That is crazy. Because I'm looking at the completed listings. Yeah, dude, that's disc only. Fuck, that's a $90 game I got sitting there. Hell yeah. Ain't selling it though. Prospero año y felicidad. I wonder what the Xenoblade Chronicles X 140 for the special edition. I still got that. Yeah, the amiibo one sells for $125. That's crazy. Wii Sports Club $60 game. Why?
I mean, a lot of these prices aren't too bad.
Yeah.
With it, I mean, some of them are still just around original sticker price, which is kind of ridiculous for a loose disc.
Wow, new sealed copies of Deus Ex going for like $80+. I actually have that because I got a review copy for it, and then I bought it physically for $10 when it was on sale, and I never opened it because I was like, I have a review copy of it. That's funny. Yeah, Wii Sports Club's another one that's up there in price, which is it's weird. But yeah, most of the stuff, like your average price for around the $20 margin for a CIB, which is, you know, ridiculously cheap for the amount of games, especially when you compare it to like any other system, like PlayStation 2, for instance. Or okay, that's a lie because PlayStation 3 is cheaper than that. The average is $13.
Remember when everyone thought PS3 games were gonna skyrocket?
And they all bought them.
Yep. Poor Jose Feliciano. Can't sing his version.
I don't want to get a copyright claim. What the fuck is The Last Guy? That's an expensive PS3 game.
Last Guy?
Yeah, it's like a $300 game. I've never even heard of it.
It looks terrible.
It does, but it doesn't matter because people are weirdos. And terrible games can be worth a lot of money.
Does this game even get a physical release?
Turok? Yeah, Turok 1 was fucking amazing. I know people like the later Turoks better, like 2 and 3, but for me, 1 was the game. Like, I loved that game. Let's look at Switch stuff. Damn. Some of these Switch prices are ridiculous, too. Collector's Edition Celeste, $300.
Yeah, the Switch stuff is tough because a lot of those high price games are LRG runs.
Yeah. Things that make you go, Damn, the messenger is that much? Didn't they do 2 versions of it?
I thought so.
I feel like I have a larger box of that. I do have a larger box of that. Okay, so that's the one. Damn, that shit went for $266. Oh, that was the special reserve. That's another fucking problem. You got special reserve. You got this. You got that. You got the other. It's like fucking hell.
Yeah, you got so many limited run companies now that, like, is fast racing going to become super rare because super rare games did their print of 4,000 copies? Is it going to become valuable? I mean, probably not.
So where is the fucking... Is this a special reserve? Hold on, now I gotta look at this. Hold on a second. All right, so I'm an idiot, and
special reserve
it is a special reserve one. So this is going for like $250 right now. That's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. Considering I never even looked inside of this motherfucker because I was just like, I have the game digitally. Likelihood of Sports Story and Golf Story coming out of their platforms, Nate.
The fact that Golf Story hasn't come to other platforms yet makes me think the probability is low, but definitely not an impossibility. So greater than 0.
I mean,
has anyone played Sports Story yet?
No. I'm sure John is playing it now instead of spending time with his family.
Yeah, that's true. See, I'm one of those few people. I bought Golf Story on like all that launch hype. I just wanted to golf. Instead, the game was like, go collect dinosaur bones. I want to golf. Isn't that the point of this game? Is golfing? I want to play the sports in the game. I don't want to. I want story. I just want a sport.
Whoa! Found another expensive Switch game I got. Yomawari, Lost in the Dark.
What?
It was a weird game that I got from a company that they sent me a digital copy of it, so that's what I reviewed and played. And then they sent me the collector's edition after the fact. And I was like, oh, thanks. And that's worth 150 bones right now. This is the kind of shit I need to bring to too many games. These fucking big-ass boxes just sit on the floor and fester.
Oh, it's one of those NIS America games.
Yeah. There's only one Miss America. What's that Fire Emblem big box going for on Warriors? Probably not much.
I think that's like being sold for free.
Ew. Yeah, that sucks. Like $40. I definitely paid more than that. Do we go to any midnight releases? What up, Mr. Dones? We gotta get this dub tonight. The last midnight release I went to was at actually 9 p.m. and it was actually for Mortal Kombat 11. And I was one of 2 people getting the Switch version of the game. Everyone else was there for fucking PlayStation and Xbox. But I mean, you know, it was fun. I used to work at GameStop, so we used to do the fucking events. Once you do one of them, it's very different. Hell yeah, Ikaruga Collector's Edition, new price $233. Hell yeah, my bitch is still sealed. Damn, bro, I could probably sell like 5 of these quote-unquote rarer games I have and make stupid money. What's that Panzer limited run going for? I would never do it unless the price was right.
I feel like that one's probably not.
Ew.
30.
Ew.
But you get the classic edition?
Yeah, it's only $60. I don't
regular it's 37.
I don't collect any Funko Pops. I think they're stupid. And that's just my opinion. If you like Funko Pops, like, that's awesome, and I'm so happy for you. I just have no... I think they look dumb. I just think they look stupid. Any GameStop horror stories? Yeah, got one on the channel. Go check it out. I want to see, hold on. Let me see something. And I looked at a couple more of the sealed games I had. Collector's edition on the Switch. Turok and Turok 2 double pack. Ooh, that's a spicy meatball at $175 for a new sealed copy. And that's what I have. That is what I have. Mixing up with Blimpers and El Bryce. Hey, dude, Merry Christmas to you, and I hope you have an awesome 2023. Merry Christmas, Nate. El Bryce from West Virginia. Mountain Mama.
Thank you.
Take me home.
I hate that song.
What's wrong with John Denver?
Nothing's wrong with John Denver. I associate that song to WVU and their football team.
Nah. Brandon the man. Oh my God, the Balon video was amazing. Thank you. It was amazing to make. Say the least. I wish Switch Up guys to come on Spawncast. They're English blokes, so it's like 2 in the morning for them when we go live, which might kind of be a problem. What was the other one? Bloodstain. I don't think I opened that either. Bloodstain, Curse of the Moon. Oh, please. Oh, that's a $250 one there. So if I sold that in Turok, that's $500 right there.
And you can buy those digitally for about $25.
Throw in the messenger. Now I'm at like $750.
Damn.
I'm about to look and see if any of these... Let me look at some of these regular games. I played Balan on the Switch because if I was going to play the worst game ever, I wanted to play the worst version of it. Let's see here. Hold on one second. I wonder, I got Double Dragon Neon and Double Dragon 4, the vanilla editions.
Is Neon the one that's just awful?
Neon is the one, 4 is the one that's like an NES game.
Okay.
So it's very hard. That's not worth shit. Neon is hard though. Like Neon's a hard game, but Double Dragon 4 is the one that's horrible, but I love it. I legitimately love that game. I don't care that they're not like it's literally a shit game. Like it's like if they made Double Dragon 4 for the NES, but that's what I like about it. And those aren't worth money, so that makes me a sad boy. SLMXGRM, welcome to the RGT Army. Appreciate you, broski. Did either of us get stuck with a bunch of that Labo crap? I threw away my Labo, some of it. I think I still got the VR goggles somewhere.
No, I never bought any.
You're smart.
It was always too expensive. I was like, I'll get like the VR thing when it drops like $20. And I never paid attention if it ever did.
What's that Metroid Dread big box going for?
I don't think it went up in price at all. Because, the game is so desirable and rare because it's sold.
It actually went down in price. I think I paid $80 for it. It's selling for $75. Good job, fucking Fire Emblem fans. You did it.
You gotta play the long game. In 10 years, people will want that Dread
Oh,
Collector's
yeah.
Edition.
For sure. What about... Wow, Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii really went down in price.
I think that reprint that GameStop did, even though they were all used copies, just destroyed the market.
Ooh, that CIB for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is fucking $262 for the collector's edition. I got that somewhere.
Damn, what about 3? Because that was kind of tough to get.
3 is under 200.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. But Xenoblade Chronicles, was that I'm pretty sure that was a gift from Steve, so I can never sell that. But it's nice to know it's valuable. Did I ever play Ready to Rumble on the Dreamcast? Fuck yeah. That game was awesome. Oh, Slim Grim. Okay, I see it now. I'm not hip to a lot of things. Appreciate you, Slim Grim. Bro, I love Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. That fucking annoying ass harmonica or whatever it starts. I love that fucking shit. It makes me laugh so hard. It's like how you expect like a fucking little kid to walk into a room and just start yelling at people like, "Pay attention to me. I am so great. I am so great."
Quiet.
Merry Christmas, Sean and Nate. Can you change the music loop? If not, no worries. Thanks for the stream. P.S. Nate's volume is low. Nate's volume is actually cranked all the way up.
It's high on my side too.
Like
I have it like 75 for my input.
As high as I can go. Yeah, we can karaoke.
We're getting rid of Felice Navidad.
Yeah, but we're getting another classic.
Oh god.
I'm not even gonna
get like.
No, this is one of my favorite songs. I hope your mood is right. I hope your spirits are up.
Is it Grandma got run over by a reindeer?
And I hope you're here tonight. And I hope that that's enough.
Oh god.
I love that song. When I was a kid, I used to think it was Susie Adams, A Wonderful Christmas Time, and I was like, who the fuck is Susie Adams, and why do I care about her? My uncle was like, what are you talking? I remember we were driving to my grandma's house because I'd stayed the night at his house. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, saying Susie Adams. She's like, Simply Having. I was like, oh, okay.
Simply Having.
Karaoke edition, of course. Oh, we got that little Sing King at the start. Whatever. He ain't getting no money off me. Oh, yeah.
Good old Paul McCartney.
Hit those synthesizers. Linda on the synthesizer, bruh. Dun, dun, dun. All you want for Christmas is a Giants playoff berth. That might be a tough one. That might be a tough one. I mean, they did well this season. They outperformed what everyone thought they were going to do. So I'm happy with it, you know, regardless of what happens.
I mean, they have the makings to be a good team.
It depends if they stick. Do you think they're going to stick with Danny or not?
I think they can stick with Danny if they find some wide receivers.
Right. Which
he
they were supposed
has no
to be doing.
weapons, and that's the problem.
Ding dong, ding dong. Oh, yeah, the fucking the Giants ain't doing dick. I mean, Giants. The Cowboys ain't doing dick. They will falter like they always do.
Just like the 49ers.
Yeah, John could get the fucking 49ers crap out of there. Doc Brown, do you have a PS4 or 5 or an Xbox? Some of my favorite things to play on there are games that are available on the PS4 and the Xbox as far as Steam Deck games are concerned. But like Spider-Man's fucking dope on it. You can play God of War 2018 if you haven't played that. A lot of third-party games and stuff. I mean, it's a very dynamic system. Alfonso Vergara, thank you for your Balan review. Loved it. Thank you, Alfonso. I didn't love making it. Very.
It took away his concentration in Call of Duty.
Yeah, because I would die and I would just start playing it and I would just scream because I was like, "This none of this makes sense." Like, I thought the demo was bad. That was fucking nothing.
I mean, what did you expect from a guy who just got arrested 3 times for insider trading?
Well, did you? Max was on here earlier. Did you know why he got? Like, it was like they said Square said that they were porting Dragon Quest 11 over to the US, and then Naka came along and like bought up a bunch of shares like right after they said it.
Yeah, Yuji Naka. So stupid. What is he doing? That might be one of the biggest downfalls of a industry figure in like history.
Yeah, because of the legal aspect of it. If you just kept it strictly to gaming, like I think you could make a case for like Cliffy B.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because he failed hard.
John Romero.
Mm.
Like, come on. When John Romero left id and did Ion Storm, it was all downhill from there. Empire of Sin. Fuck that game. At least he still has cool hair, though. He talks way too much about politics, though. I had to mute him. On his Twitter, that is. It's just like, bro, I'm following you for video games. A couple things here and there, that's fine. But it's like, when all you fucking talk about, like, Jesus. Yeah, Lawbreakers was Cliffy's game.
Yeah, it launched and died like less than a year.
And didn't he blame, like, everyone like else in the world for that failure except like himself?
Yeah. He blamed like people didn't understand the game and all this type of nonsense.
Daikatana, John Romero's gonna make you his bitch. You gotta remember, Case PB. I don't like that Sing King thing. That was all ingrained in, you know, GamePro and EGM and stuff like that, which was my Bibles as a kid. So that's, I knew PC gaming stuff from that aspect. I never really played them, but like I was familiar with what was happening with John Romero and stuff like that, just because I liked Doom and I liked Quake and what id was doing and all the id subsidiaries, Hexen and all that stuff. So yeah, Daikatana was supposed to be his masterpiece, and he just got too big for his britches, which happens with a lot of these people. But, you know, what are you gonna do? Who the hell names their kid Cian but tells them to pronounce it Sean? Much love regardless. Been watching you for the past 4 years. I mean, that's a valid question. Wait, how do you spell lawn? Lean? No, that's lean.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. Appreciate you, Slim Grim. People were ready to hang Daniel Jones last season on how playing well changes attitude. I mean, well, to be fair, that's sports in general, but that's New York sports in general. Because you go on my Twitter timeline from 3 weeks ago, and I was ready to crucify every single Nick. I said, blow this team up, get rid of Tibbs. But Tibbs made changes. He went from a 11, 12-man rotation to a 9-man rotation. He stopped playing Evan Fournier. He focused on some of the younger guys, and it worked out. So, you know,
yeah.
that's sports in general. But when it's New York sports, like you don't understand, dude. Like, I remember when I first came back to the Northeast, I was outside getting my mail, and because at my old place there was like a mailbox thing that you would go, because it was it was condos, and I'm just getting the mail, and I was wearing like a Knicks hood or a shirt or a beanie or something, and like his car just pulls up next to me. He's like, 9 straight, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm like, what's up? He's like, 9 straight, baby, 9 straight. We go for 10 tonight, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I remembered, I was like, oh, the Knicks have won 9 straight. It was when they were doing their playoff run 2 years ago, and I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Like that's what people associate with you, is like sports and stuff. Like it's a weird thing in the Northeast, but it's how it is.
It's true.
Gaelic? I don't know this word.
Gaelic?
Gaelic.
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 Yeah.
Is that like a weird garlic?
No.
Is that a sassy garlic?
It's not a sassy garlic. Gaelic is Irish.
Ah.
It's language.
Why the fuck is a complete copy of Dick Tracy on the Sega Master System $252? I don't think I own that. I was trying to see if I own any pricier Master System games, but I'm mostly... Yeah, zesty garlic. Let me get some Gaelic. Put a little Gaelic on it. I feel like MBG would say that.
Zesty garlic.
A little Gaelic. Phil and Steez have been going back and forth in the chat this entire time. It's Stefan too. It's very entertaining. I'm glad that people can find conversations within conversations while we're having our overarching conversation. It's a good vibe. Once I get some of these DS fucking prices. The fuck is Power Bike? Oh,
Some of these games that are valuable on those platforms are like games that nobody bought, and now it just turned into I gotta have this game.
So on 4/29/2017, a factory sealed copy of Power Bike sold for $21.81. On 1/9/22, a factory sealed copy of Power Bike sold for $430.
Wow. Why?
It's probably people trying to collect or finish their collections up. Commando Steel Disaster, $236. Blue Dragon, no shit. God damn. $250. $250.
Wow. I probably traded that thing in for like $20.
Slim Grim will give you $1 for a face reveal, Nate.
My fee is $70,000 for a face reveal.
That's not bad. Oh man, I definitely sold this Ease 1 and 2 Legacy for way less than $181. What's Resident Evil? Is Resident Evil still up around $100 for Deadly Silence? That'd make
Last
me
I
happy.
saw it was around there. Might be a
Damn,
little
those
higher now.
Dementium games. God, Jesus, I had all those shits, man. I had all those shits. No, where's Resident Evil? Oh, I think Resident Evil went down. Jake Hunter Detective Story for $100? Fuck, man. Well, Popeye never had a physical release. I did, Ethan. You need to watch it, though.
Ooh, Deadly Silence did go down. It's $77 complete in
You motherfuckers, you've ruined the economy. Why? Why would that go down in price? Let's look at some CIB sold listings. Yeah, it did. It's because some asshole sold it on the 11th for $56. Brand new. What was that, shipping? Hope that shipping was expensive. I still kind of want the collector's edition of that. Like, it's so stupid because it's first off, it's a biohazard, and like the stuff that it comes with is like, it's only $100. It comes with I mean, it's a little raggedy, but it comes with like a stylus. What else does it come with here? Let's see.
Is it the one that came with the case too? The 3DS case?
Yeah, I think it did. But like some of them go for way more than that. Why is he so cheap? I guess because it's used, but I mean it's still in decent shape for $100. I think the box art's so fucking bad for that game on the Japanese one. It's just a crow.
Yeah.
Jake Hunter's it's Jake Hunter Detective Agency. Do I think buying Blu-rays is a waste of money? I mean, not really. I buy Blu-rays of movies that I really like. God damn, this like minty sealed one. Oh, it's not even sealed. Yeah, it comes with a little case and a stylus. That's it. $356. This one person's asking. Meanwhile, this other person's asking $100 shipped. Like, I want it, but I don't need it.
I think I actually have that DS case. So I think I reviewed it way back in the day, and Capcom had sent me the case and the stylus.
Bro, Capcom and Konami used to be the shit for game reviews. I was doing shit on Gaming Truth, which was my first gig ever, because my friend was working for them, and the guy who ended up becoming a big streamer, his name is DJ Knight, he's on Twitch. He ran the website. He was an ex-military dude, so he lived like 2 towns over, like 40 minutes away. And so we were all close to each other, and I started writing on there, and I had a 3DS, and nobody else did on the site, so they made me the 3DS guy. And they hooked me up with a contact for Konami, and they hooked me up with a contact for Capcom. And that was when Resident Evil Revelations and Metal Gear Solid 3 came out. Capcom sent me 3 physical copies of Resident Evil Revelations and this fucking beanie that Chris wears in the game with like a headphone in it.
Yeah, I have that.
And Konami sent me 4 copies of Metal Gear Solid 3D. And they're like, oh, do some giveaways. I was like, what? This is the greatest thing ever. And then we got to the fucking digital age, and fucking break your balls just to get it.
Yeah, because I remember when I used to deal with Konami, and Metal Gear Rising came out, and they sent me physical copies of each version. So I got PS3 and Xbox 360. They sent me the collector's edition with the electric lamp thing for each version. And they're like, oh, you just have to unbox one, take some pictures for, your website, and, you can review whatever version you want. So I'm like, I don't need 4 copies of the same game. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with these?
I will say, as much as I give them shit, Konami did do me very well with the Cowabunga collection. They sent me a digital review copy. I bought the collector's edition, and then like a week after the game came out, they were like, hey, we want to send you something. And I was like, okay. And they sent me it was a boxed t-shirt of the Cowabunga collection, and they also sent me a collector's edition of the Cowabunga collection. So I have 2 of them. So that was
Damn.
Yeah, they hooked that shit up. I guess because my video did like really well for them, and I guess they were happy. But it's like, fuck, it's Cowabunga collection. Of course I'm gonna suck its dick. Like, I love all these games. Like, what do you expect me to do here? But yeah, they hooked that up. But yeah, companies nowadays, they don't really send you much stuff.
No, they just send you a digital code, and I mean, they used to send you like notebooks and pens and mugs and all this useless swag that you just kind of sit there and be like, okay.
But it's worth like money nowadays because people want that shit. I remember when I worked at GameStop, I had, the fucking displays that they had in the stores. They don't even do that shit anymore. I'd be like, what are we doing with these? Oh, we're going to throw them away. I was like, no, the fuck you're not. Like, do you want them? I was like, fuck yeah. I had this little 500 square foot 1-bedroom apartment, and you walked in the door and you were greeted by Samus because it was the Metroid Prime Hunters full 5-foot standee with Samus just pointing the cannon at you. And like, I would take home like all the fucking standees that I wanted. And like, they were so cool. And then like, eventually I had to throw them away when I moved. But like, I wonder if that's for sale. I would love
one of the coolest press kits I had ever got was from Sony. It shows up just in a, brown box. Open it, it's another box inside, and the box just says heavy rain. When you open the box talked.
It says, Sean!
Sean!
Like,
what are you willing to sacrifice to save your son?
Sean!
And then, like, it was a preview disc, so it was the first chapter of all the characters. Had like newspapers and stuff about the origami killer and all that stuff.
I part of me wants to play that game again. Because I wouldn't say I didn't like it originally, but I wasn't like in love with it like I thought I would be. But I feel like if I played it again now, I think I would like it more.
Maybe, because you could probably see some of the humor in some of the situations. You get over some of the cringe.
And plus, it's the kind of game where it's like, you kind of have to do multiple playthroughs anyways. So there is no fucking standee listed on eBay. Fuck, I bet that would have been worth a pretty penny. Damn, this motherfucker's trying to sell a silver DS with Metroid Prime Hunters demo for $450.
Why?
I don't know. That was the shit I had. I got it from OK Chief, and I had no idea how much it was going to be. I just wanted simply for nostalgia purposes. And he was like, everything's complete. It's got every manual in it. It's got all the plastic baggies, serial number matches. I was like, cool. Thinking I'm going to spend like maybe 2. He told me 1, and I was like, shipped? And he was like, yeah. I was like, word. I'll take that.
Man, I remember when my GameStop had a God of War 2 floor mat. It was just a little rug. I remember my manager took it.
Yeah, see, that was one of the things, though, because it was a hierarchy. Yeah. And if you wanted something cool, you might get it, but that was only if nobody else wanted it.
Yep.
So, like, nobody really cared about the Metroid Prime standee, but, like, Resident Evil standees, Alec, oh my god, he would take all that shit. He actually lived in the same apartment complex as me, but he had a nicer, bigger 2-bedroom apartment. So we would go over there sometimes, and he would have, like, all sorts of cool stuff. And then you had Billy, who was the original manager, who got fired because when we opened, we did a giveaway for a $200 GameStop gift card. And guess who won? Billy won. And his dumb fucking ass used it at our store and got caught. I was like, you fucking moron. I liked him, but he was an absolute terrible manager because we worked so, like, we would do nothing during the day. And then we'd be like 5 minutes till close. It's like, oh, we gotta get these gondolas ready for tomorrow. Oh, well, when are we gonna do that? Oh, you mind hanging out after the store? I'm like, no, I guess not. And I would work I probably worked 60-hour weeks there and got paid for 40 hours. But I didn't care because it was video games. But I was making literally like $7 an hour working 40 hours a week, but really working 60 hours a week because we always had to stay late and fucking do what we were supposed to be doing, and fucking price changes every day. And like I was the key holder. They wouldn't give me the assistant manager title, but they gave me all the assistant manager.
Oh, so you're like the third key.
Yeah. But we didn't even have an assistant manager. I literally was given as assistant manager's workload and position without the pay. I would have to go on the conference calls and stuff in the morning, and like it was rough, dude.
That happened to me because the store I was at, the assistant manager had quit right around this time of year. And they wouldn't give me the promotion. So I was still third key. I had to work, all the shifts as an assistant manager because we didn't hire a new third key or an assistant manager. So I was working doubles 3 days a week. And that sucked because it was open and closed. And we didn't have anyone come in the afternoon until like 3 o'clock. So I couldn't even leave to get lunch or anything.
Yeah. We had that sort of staggered stuff too. It was,
yeah.
I mean, I worked a Black Friday and we were supposed to have 4 people and it was just me. And I was like, where's everyone? Like, oh, I overslept. I'll be there when I get there. It's 5:30 in the fucking morning and I'm in the store by my goddamn self. Like, absolutely crazy.
Was it spring or fall? It was when the clocks changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I overslept by an hour. So I think it was spring forward. So I opened the store an hour late because I forgot to change my alarm clocks and shit. So the kid who was supposed to open with me was just standing outside for the whole hour waiting for me to show up. And I'm like, shit. I get there. I reconfigured the numbers to say we clocked in an hour earlier and stuff on the computer so we didn't lose any pay. But eventually, the district manager called. He's like, oh, what happened? I was like, oh, my car broke down on the highway. I got here an hour late. I was like, it's no big deal. No one came anyways that day. That day, our deposit was literally $1.12.
Jesus Christ. That was another thing, dude. Because you got to remember, I lived in a small town. We would drive 40 minutes to go to our local GameStop. When Metal Gear Solid 3 came out, we literally drove 40 minutes to the midnight launch at the GameStop out there. And my high friend stole me the Metal Gear Solid 3 poster they had on the wall there because I wanted it. And he was high, so I was like, well, worst case, I'll just act like I don't know him. But so when that store opened up, I remember taking sometimes we were one of the top 5 stores in the district the entire time I worked there. And sometimes I was bringing 10 grand to the bank with me I'm just like a 20-year-old kid. Like,
Right.
fuck, man, we got this 10 grand. So like, sometimes we would have people watch us. Sometimes we didn't. We would just go by ourselves and be like, fuck, man. Like,
That 1 year it was the holiday drop off, and we didn't have the friggin' hours to have someone stay to close with me. So I had a drop off of like $25,000 cash to go to the bank. And the whole time I'm driving there, I'm saying to myself, all I have to say is, "Oh, I was on my way to the bank. Someone punched me in the back of the head and stole the money." Who can say it didn't happen?
right.
There's no proof. I was like, this is how stupid this company is that they're not sending someone with me to the bank to make sure, one, I don't steal the money, and two, don't get robbed.
Well, I mean, they were super cost cutters. Merry Christmas, Brandon. We'll probably wrap things up at 5:30 because we've been live since like 2:30, and this went on longer than I thought it would be. So we got about 20 more minutes. If you got any final questions? Now, when you worked at GameStop, did you have cameras in the store?
We had one that just overlooked the cash registers.
We had none. Now, granted, did we use that to our advantage? Of course, because if you traded in a game, you got a certain dollar amount.
Yep.
But if Joe from Tennessee bought a $60 game at his GameStop used and he didn't like that game, well, he would get his full money back as long as it was within 7 days, and he didn't even have to have a receipt. And so a lot of things got damaged out. I remember my buddy and I, my buddy broke his DS when we were playing Metroid Prime Hunters because you had to hit the trigger button in order to shoot. And so he broke his, so I was like, well, give me that. I was like, here, you can have my DS. And he was like, okay. So I went to work that day. I was like, oh, look, somebody just purchased this at a neighbor GameStop and didn't like, you didn't even have, all you had to do was put your name on there. So I put my grandpa's name on there, signed his name, and then stuck the receipt inside of the box and got myself I got the blue one. That was when I got the blue DS. Like, we used to do shady shit like that all the time. Like, not,
Yeah,
but I
had-
mean, it was what it was.
Yeah, we had the camera on the registers, and then we had a camera in the back room. But the back room was so small, we used the bathroom to stock systems. So we had like a mountain of Wii's and PS3s in the bathroom right next to the toilet.
Yeah,
We
our
had no
stock
other
room
space.
was pretty small too. But like that, when I got robbed and why they tried to let me go over it was because we didn't have cameras. Somebody came in, was a regular customer. He always had just handfuls of games, always wanted cash. I don't even think he played video games, but that at that time you didn't ask any questions. They didn't care. They just wanted to get stock in. So he would come in with handfuls of games. And one day he came in, and he was a nice guy. And he came in and he was like, hey man, y'all got any Xbox 360s in stock? I was like, well, I got to run to the back and check. He was like, well, could you do that? I'm thinking about getting a new one. I was like, okay. So I went to the back to check. I was the only one working. Came back out. I was like, yeah, I got two. And he was like, I might be back later. I was like, okay. He came back later in the day and no, I'm not chewing. I'm vaping. He came back later in the day. He had another stack of games, all PS2 stuff. And so I traded it in, got like a couple $100 or it was like $150 or something like that. It's like, all right, I'll see you later. I was like, okay. So my shift ended at 5 that day. I went home. Alec calls me at 5:30. He's like, you need to come down here now. I'm like, why? And he was like, you need to come down here now. I was like, well, I'll be there at like 6. And so I got there at 6. I'm like, what's the problem? He's like, we got to go in the back. I'm like, well, what's up? He was like, I forget the guy's name, again with a D or something. He's like, do you know this guy D? And I was like, yeah, you know him. It's that dude, that kind of tall black dude who comes in. He got that kind of funny voice. And he was like, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I'm like, why? And he was like, did he come in the store today? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, well, what happened? I was like, he came in, he traded in some shit like he normally does. He asked if I had a 360. I went in the back. We had 2. I came back out, and then he came back later in the day with some games. And he was like, did you look at the games he brought in? I was like, not really. Like, I know they're all PS2 games. And he was like, you didn't help him do anything? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what's going on here? And they're like, they're trying to fire you. I said, for what? So what happened was, when I went in the back to check for those Xbox 360s, we had all the games in the little sleeves right on the other side of the counter. He reached around, grabbed a handful, A to D, that we had in stock, mixed them up, and then brought them back to me and traded them in. So I didn't even really realize. I mean, maybe in retrospect, if I would have inspected all the games or something, had like 30 games, so I wasn't going to do that. And I was like, oh my God. And they were like, yeah, the district manager thinks that you're involved with it. I told them you're not, but they want to take your key and they want to put you on probation. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I love you guys, but I think this is the end for me. And he was like, I completely understand. And I turned in all my shit and I quit. Like, cause I was like, dude, I did nothing wrong. Like, you don't have cameras. You have one person working during, prime hours. Like,
that's corporate failure.
What am I supposed to do?
See, my store never got robbed, but one holiday, this guy comes in. It's during like the hype of the PS3 Wii launch. The guy comes in, he's like, hey, you got some PS3s? I was like, yeah, we have a ton of them. We weren't selling PS3s like after launch week. The guy's like, all right. He's like, can I get like 2 PS3s? He's like, and he names a bunch of games. Now the bill's coming up to like a couple grand. He's like, are there any games you want? I'm like, I can't say anything like that. He's like, no. He's like, if there were games out right now that you don't have that you would like, he said, what would they be? I was like, I kind of want to play Madden on the Wii. Because at the time, that whole thing seemed kind of cool, throw the ball. And
yeah, for sure.
I'm like, something like that. And he's like, all right. He goes, picks up the game, and he puts on like a debit card. So we didn't have to check ID or anything back then.
Right.
It was you put the card in, it clears, go. About a week later, we get an email from corporate with these dudes' names on it. They're like, oh, they're stealing credit cards and stuff. So also like, oh shit, like we sold him probably like $500 worth of gift cards, $2,000 worth of systems and games. He bought me Madden. He left it in front of the store. He's like, when you go on break, he's like, you just take the game, put it in your car or something. I'm like, oh shit. But that was probably the worst thing,
but it's
as far as robbery happened.
I mean, you're a kid, man. You don't fucking know any better.
That's the thing. Yeah, you're 19 years old. This dude's offering to buy you a game for free. You're just thinking, oh, he's a nice dude. You're not assuming, oh, he has stolen credit cards and.
Right. We are physical. Speaking of nostalgia, which was more memorable, Halo 3 launch or Mortal Kombat Deception? I would say Halo 3.
Yeah, Halo 3 was
huge.
Launch.
I will say one of the nice things about working in the store was like sometimes they would send us. I remember we were liquidating all the PS1 stuff and N64 stuff, and it was all super cheap, and we all had first pick of the litter. So I remember I got Castlevania Symphony of the Night for like $15 complete. We liquidated Game Boy Advance. That's how I got my sealed. That's a good thing. I need to look up that Metroid I have from the Game Boy Advance collection for the NES stuff. I think all those games kind of went up in price. I might get rid of those, honestly. And
get the strategy guides when they got pennied out.
Yeah, I remember this little kid came in and he had a bag full of stuff, and he was like, I need some money. He put it on the counter. I looked at it. It was like Game Gear and like a bunch of games. I was like, bro, we don't take Game Gear. He's like, but I need some money. I was like, what are you looking to get for this? He's like, give me $20. I was like, word? He was like, yeah, I just wanted like $20. I was like, all right, meet me outside in 5 minutes. So I told the other person I was working, I was like, I'll be right back. Because I
used to do those deals all the time. Like a guy came in with PS1, and remember when the Black Label Final Fantasy VII was like skyrocketing in price for some reason in the early 2000s?
Mm-hmm.
Guy came in with Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 Tactics, all Black Label, and Final Fantasy Origins with Chrono Trigger. He's like, what can I do for these trade-ins? I was like, oh, we don't take PS1 games anymore. I'm like, if you really want to get rid of them, I'm like, I'll give you like $50 for all of them right now. He's like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, all right, just go out. I'm like, I'll just meet you out back. I was like, I'll give you the cash in like 10 minutes. Whenever we couldn't do the trade-in, if it was something valuable I knew the guys had and they were desperate to get rid of it, I would just be like, yeah, I'll give you, $20.
Yeah, like that was our manager encouraged us to do that. Like people would come in with high value stuff and be like, you can get this amount, or if you want to go outside in like 5 minutes, you might get a little more. So that's how we would get like systems and stuff.
Sometimes the people wouldn't even care. They'd be like, I don't even want it to like. I'm like, if you want to throw it away, I would just point to the trash. I was like, you can. And they're like, fine. They throw it away, and then I would just take it out when I took out the trash.
Is my copy of? Ooh, it is. So, The Adventure of Link, the Game Boy Advance re-release for the NES Classic Series, $250 new price, and mine is still sealed.
What?
I could probably get $1,000 for all these. Let's see. Bomberman's 50. Castlevania is 71. Donkey Kong is 50. Dr. Mario's poop at 29. 76 for Excite Bike. 40 for Ice Climber. Metroid 90. Pac-Man 45. Maybe not $1,000. Maybe I could do the whole thing for 500 though. Super Mario's 85. Xevious is 21. Zelda Classic is 74. I think the only two sealed ones, the only two sealed ones I have are Adventures of Link and Metroid. I actually bought that Adventures of Link at a con at Retro World Expo 2017, and the guy just had it for like $15. So I was like, okay, cool. Everyone hit like and share. Let's run it up. Appreciate you, X-Eyes. Like I said, we will be wrapping things up at 5:30, so you got about 10 more minutes. You want to get any final Christmas messages in? That will be appreciated.
I mean, we just told people about our crimes that we committed at retail jobs.
Yeah, well, maybe one day I'll tell the crimes that I committed outside of it, but I still feel like,
Yeah, we can't get. I don't think GameStop corporate can come at us anymore.
Yeah, that's not a bad little collection of stuff for those prices. I really should get rid of some of that bullshit. What's for Christmas dinner? I don't know. I don't know what Graham's cooking. I assume a ham and lasagna.
We do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. So we'll have like fish, clam, spaghetti with clam sauce.
Those are usually 7 fishes. See, we don't do that. We don't, because nobody really likes seafood in our family. Well, we'll probably have beer battered shrimp tomorrow night, fried.
We'll do the stuffed shells with the ricotta.
I'm just gonna give the maids a 5. I haven't even looked to see what they've done. I'm sure it's 5. Merry Christmas, says Doc Brown with the dono. Appreciate you, broski. Merry Christmas.
Actually, gotta make some of those Italian cookies tonight. Some of the Argot cookies. And some Tizelas.
Now that the hype has died down, will Sony actually buy Square or just a part of them? I don't know. Depends.
If they buy them, it would be the entirety of Square.
Yeah, but from what has been said, which I would take with a grain of salt, they would want to buy them, but they would still do stuff on Nintendo platforms. It would just be, Activision Blizzard on Xbox. It'd be similar to that. But that would be interesting to see. I think that's kind of contingent on, what happens with this Activision Blizzard situation.
Yeah, it'd kind of be weird optics if Activision Blizzard gets blocked and then Sony comes in and buys up a company and they're like, when Microsoft's sitting there saying, but they're not going to give us their games. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we're not predatory. They are. They're the predatory ones. We're the good guys here. I mean, Sony looks like clown shoes in this situation, but that gamers' memories aren't.
They're pretty short.
Yeah, for lack of a better term.
RG, they're making their sauce right now for the stuffed shells.
I mess with stuffed shells. That's good stuff. But just
how does your grandmother season the cheese? She put some like cinnamon and stuff.
I have no idea. You can't. What are you talking about? You can't be in the kitchen. Are you crazy?
That's true. You walk in, she got the spoon ready.
Yeah. What are you doing? Get out of here! Make a phone. Okay. I will be on my way. I can't believe that stupid Fragile Games or Dreams game on the Wii is a $100 game. I
have that because I got a review copy of that back in the day.
Microsoft looks no better in this deal. They really complain that Sony is a publicly traded company that is to make money and grow. I mean, the problem is that all this stuff came out in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? So like, I would agree. They both look like jackasses, but Microsoft only has to look like a jackass because Sony is kind of forcing them to make them look like a jackass. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that are making.
Sony's the one throwing a public tantrum that Microsoft then has to respond to. So it makes Microsoft look silly, but it's really Sony's the one throwing the tantrum the loudest.
What up, B-Leaf? Is the Sonic Ice really worth it? I mean, it's definitely nice. But they got, you know, it's King Ice who made it. They got the tails, they got the Knuckles, they got all sorts of stuff. Damn, Knuckles Chaotix went up, and that's another thing I thought about getting rid of. Because I know Destiny FOMO wanted to buy my 32X collection. And I know that bitch has money, so I would charge her. I'm like, bitch, I know how much you're making.
Inflate that price.
Inflate it. Like, look, you get the whole thing. You ain't got to look for a single fucking game. I got everything right here. Ding dong, ding dong. Yeah, keep it G Records. I think Randall's gonna go off tonight. You know, specifically why? Because Caruso actually does a decent job of defending him, and Caruso's out tonight. What up, Black Dark Smoke? Appreciate you. Yeah, FOMO's, you know, people give Destiny shit. I'll never give her shit because she's always been super nice to me. And I feel like she knows what she's doing. You know, I don't feel like she's deceiving anyone. She's like, hey, look at me. I'm an attractive female who plays video games with some massive knockers. Like, she never tried to hide that fact from anyone. It's like, that's just who she is. And she uses that to her advantage, which is smart as fuck. Because if I was an attractive female with some nice knockers who liked video games, I would be doing the same thing. I'd probably be going to
100%.
I'd be going to bigger levels than her. Like, I'd be like, yeah, look at this Wiimote in my ass, you know, like, fuck. But you know, like, she's not a bad person at all. Like, if you actually know her and talk to her, like, she's actually a genuine person who, like, actually is very nice. She's just extremely successful in what she does. So hats off to her. She told me about some of that OnlyFans money, and my mouth is just like, what? Like, goddamn.
If I could make money
good
like that on OnlyFans, I'd be taking pictures of whatever the community wanted to see.
Yeah, like, I mean, good for her, man. Fuck it. Make your money. Shit. Who cares? Who cares? As long as you ain't doing nothing, like, fucking illegal or something, like, how much to go for another hour? Dude, I gotta fucking take a whiz. I gotta go look and see what these people did with the cleaning. We've gone for 3 hours. I can still do that. I can still put the Wiimote in my ass, but I don't think I'd get quite the views if I...
Yeah, you're not getting paid what she's getting paid to just stand there in, like, a bikini.
Yeah. Like, I don't hate the hustle, man. I don't hate the hustle. Because she is gracious for it. She doesn't expect it. Like some of these other, like the people that you see on Twitch, like, give me money. Like, she never does that. You know, so she's not a demanding person.
Like I said, if I knew I could take a picture of me, like, laying back on a couch with my hand on a joystick or playing with my joystick, and I could make, you know, $75,000 a month on OnlyFans doing that, I would 100% film myself and take pictures of myself doing that without a second thought.
She does good things without bragging about it. Exactly. That's how you can tell if a person is genuine or not. That's why, like, when people call me a piece of shit, I'm like, cool. I don't care. You think I'm a horrible person? That's fine. Ask my local Toys for Tots how horrible of a person I am. Ask my local homeless shelter how much of a horrible person I am. Like, I don't need to tell you that. I don't need to tell you the money I've given to them because I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it because I'm in a position where I can do something like that and I can help someone out in their time of need. So I'd rather do that.
Yeah.
I don't need to tweet about it or show you a receipt or something. The only person who sees that receipt is my accountant.
Yeah.
The
Charity is a personal thing. It's not for publicity. And if you have to go to Twitter or social media, say, look at all the good I did. You didn't do it to be good. You did it so people can applaud you publicly for the deed. And that's wrong. You just did it for clout and attention. True charity is at home and it stays with you.
Right. And that's not to be, let me also clarify, I also don't think it's a knock against people who do sometimes film their stuff, but there's a thin line, because if you're only doing charity when you're filming it or you're making a big scene about it and you're not doing it in your own privacy, then that's disingenuous. If you're doing both,
right,
that's okay. And that's okay, in my opinion. All right, folks. It's almost 5:30. We got 1 minute, so we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you. Now, I agree with that, Justin. Sometimes showing your charity can encourage others to donate as well. That's what I tried to do last year with the Children's Miracle Network thing. And then, like, the views on that video completely bombed. And I was just like, all right, what? Because I did it to where it was like, you know, if we get to X amount of views, I'll donate X amount of money. And then we hit nowhere near that. And I was just like, whatever. I'm still going to give the maximum that I said anyways, because, you know, I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah, showing your charity can encourage others to donate as well. I just don't think it's a case where if I donated toys to Toys for Tot, I have to go to Twitter immediately and say, look what I gave to Toys for Tot this year. Yeah. And then not give you a means of finding one local to you. Now, if I say I've given to this, I'm not saying what I gave, and I link you to a way that you can find a local one for yourself if you'd like to give as well. That's a nice gesture, but to brag about what you give to charity is wrong, and that defeats the whole purpose of charity.
Slim Grim says, go take a whiz and do another hour. I'll super chat $50. And then John O comes in, tramples everything. Glad I caught you before heading out. Merry Christmas all with the amazing $100 donation. Thank you so much, John O. John O, if you don't know John O is a legend around these parts. John O is a certified G around these parts. Whether you're watching this channel or whether you're watching Spawncast, the man is Kris Kringle in the flesh. Who's texting me? Tomorrow, be careful driving here. Oh God, what's Grandma talking about? It may be icy. It's going to be very cold. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about that.
Might be cold. Might be some black ice on the road.
Yeah, but I feel like by the daytime, they'll have it pretty much handled. I only take the main road. Well, I don't know. The one road to her house is a little sketch. John O, he told, he has 2 daughters. All right, 5:40. I'll give you an extra 8 minutes because now I can't leave on that. Yeah, I didn't really. Well, I don't know because it's gonna get cold overnight, but I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, this wind could have dried out some of that rain on the roads tonight.
Oh, false. No kids and single. There you go. Phil, have a hell of a holiday, man. I'm about to get wasted in DoorDash and McRib like an animal. Is the McRib still available in your area, Phil? Because it's not in mine. We don't want to hear about the good things. We want to hear about the bad things. Signed, the FBI. You should record an after show this week. Just make up beef and conversations to continue. Now we gotta shorten show tomorrow. There's some good sound bits in there though that should make the comments very spicy. Because I even put in the comments because of the Discord chat. I was like, John fucking causing trouble.
What did you do?
You know what he did? He brought up that one stupid topic.
Oh, that one.
And then there's certain people out there that will have a different viewpoint than others out there. It was just back and forth. It was just...
Yeah, I missed that since I was breaking out in hives, which I still have.
Taking Benadryl for it?
It doesn't really itch that bad.
Yeah, that's good.
It's just my whole body is literally covered in hives.
Better to have hives than HIV.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Say? I don't think I've ever had hives.
This is the first time I've ever had them.
Because like poison ivy and stuff, I used to like roll around in it as a kid and I never got it. So I think I'm immune to it. And I've never had poison ivy, but I've had a million other things.
I've never had an allergic reaction to really anything. This is the first time I've ever had an allergic reaction to medication.
I'll match John O if you go take a whiz and go another hour. I just woke up from a nap and missed most of the stream. It's Slim Grim. You've been here for quite a while, brother. I don't know, man. I gotta do some stuff, bro. All right. We'll go to 6. We'll go to 6. I could do 6. I'm gonna go take a whiz. We'll go to. I need to grab a drink too. Go We'll go to 6. You don't have to donate anything else. You can if you want to, but you don't have to donate anything else. Scott Woodford, 41 days until Jericho Cruise for Skål Vikings. Get out of here with the Vikings nonsense. But I appreciate Scott being a member of the RGT squad for 2 months now. All right, let me go take a whiz. We'll go for another 30 minutes till 6. Nate, sing a song for everyone.
Sing a song? Oh, God. Let's see. What's a good song? What's a good holiday song? Go to 7. I don't know about that, Filbert. Go until Santa comes in. That's a long time. You're right. If we had a podcast, it would be legendary for all the wrong reasons. Back that thing up. I don't know if that's a Christmas song. I will be drinking eggnog and some Sambuca for Christmas this year. My opinion on extending Cashman, I think, was a big mistake. Cashman is one of the problems with the Yankees organization right now. Though he's made some good deals this offseason, getting Carlos Rodon and getting Judge a nice contract, he still isn't making the moves necessary to strengthen the team. You have to get rid of Donaldson. You should be trading Hicks. I can live with IKF at shortstop, but you have to get Reynolds. You have to get Reynolds in the outfield. Make the trade happen this offseason. I don't care if you have to package Donaldson and Hicks and a couple of prospects from AAA. You have to. Hicks has to go and Donaldson have to go. You're just being held down by their contracts. And that's all on Cashman. I'd rather have Derek Jeter come in and become the new GM and drop Cashman.
You think he will, though?
No.
Who is A-Rod part owner of? Mariners?
I don't know if does A-Rod own anyone? Jeter owned the Marlins.
Okay.
For a little while, then he dropped that.
Just about to purchase the Ascent. Have you played it? I played it for a brief while. It needed some patches, but I think it got some patches. No, this is like some weird pizza place called Freaking Good Pizza or something like that. It's all right. Slim Graham with the 50 spot. My God, you and Nate are the best. I told you didn't have to do that.
But what you said is true.
No, you're not wrong.
If people like listening to us here, they should hear us on Call of Duty.
Maybe one day. Maybe we have to get a tape delay for that.
Oh, yeah. We'd almost have to record it and then listen back before we published it and be like, okay, cut.
I'm out of my Zevias, too. I fucked up. I ordered 2 cases. Amazon damaged one of them, so I only ended up getting 1 case. I panicked. I ordered some more, and it won't get here till Wednesday. So I'm just like, I don't even know what to drink. Like,
get some Sumal.
I don't know, man. I found some old Dr. Pepper cans.
Get some Sumal. Sumal is better than Zevia. Sumal is a Portuguese carbonated fruit drink.
No, I'm not dropping N-bombs. But there is some colorful language from the early 2000s that, you know. It's really just R. The R word. Like, I can't get past it sometimes. I have no idea where it's near. I got it delivered. Yeah, I agree, Ricky, but, you know, certain people will fucking crucify you. Yes, I remember. We need a friend named Todd.
Damn it, Todd.
Noah Smith! Crossing my fingers that my job gives me a snow day tomorrow, but not likely. Have a Merry Christmas, guys. Let me talk to him, Noah. I'll talk to them. We'll get you that fucking snow day. Yeah, there are a lot of a lot of sticks out there play Warzone as well. English cigarettes. Did you watch that? Do you ever watch that dude on Barstool, Caleb Presley?
No.
Whoa, you don't?
Nah.
He interviews like people and he just asks them like weird questions, but he does it like deadpan. Like he's done like Deion Sanders and like the Deion Sanders, the Michael Irving one, talking about like, so what does cocaine smell like? And he just talks about like putting fingers in asses and stuff. He did one with an English, with like a there's a from England, a UK person, and it's a female, and he was just like rapid firing stuff because he was like, you know, our languages are different. You know, you say one thing for a word and we say another, and he was just going through and he was like apartment, flat. She was like, he was like cigarette, and she said it and she just stopped and he was like, whoa. It was so funny. It was so funny. You need to go watch. You sure? I'll put some in the chat. The Deion Sanders one is fucking hilarious, and the Michael Irvin one is hilarious. He does like rappers and stuff too. It's fucking comedy gold. I mean, the whole time he's doing it, there's a fat guy just sitting there eating ice cream. His name's Glenny Balls. I mean, like that's all he does.
He just sits there and eats ice cream?
Yeah.
Man, it's a good gig.
He was actually a Division I quarterback. He went to UNC. He took a year off to go study abroad. Yeah, the Aaron Rodgers one is fucking hilarious too, because he breaks Aaron Rodgers. He went a year overseas, so he lost his football stuff, but they liked him so much that they brought him back. They made him like an honorary pep talk coach. And like he would just be on the sidelines with like a headset, like giving pep talks to people and stuff because he was so weird. And then he decided he wanted to work at Barstool, and he just shot his shot, and they loved him. He's by far the best thing. It was Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. That was the latest one. That was fucking hilarious. It's so juvenile, but it's great. Bill Burr, aka Alex Jones. Ever seen that conspiracy?
No.
You've never seen the Bill Burr as Alex Jones conspiracy?
No.
Yeah, I'll give you a new song. You want a new song?
Uh-oh.
You know goddamn well what the new song is gonna be.
Here it comes.
It's old as new again.
You should put on a White Christmas because John apparently has never heard the term White
Fucking,
Christmas.
what the fuck did he say the other day?
A snow Christmas?
We were talking to, he's like, oh man, it's almost gonna snow this weekend. It would have been a snow Christmas. And we're like, you mean a white Christmas? And it was like, oh, is that what they call it? It's like, are you a fucking robot? Are you an AI?
Oh,
Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks, yeah. Bill Burr is great. I love Bill Burr. The bald guy. All right, I'm an idiot. Sorry.
A snow Christmas. He even said, he's like, what would you call it? And you were just sitting there so flabbergasted, like, a White Christmas, John? You know, like the song and the movie?
He had no clue.
No, he was pretty much just blank. He was just like, oh, never heard that term before. John, Loki, and Alien. Maybe Ricky.
I wouldn't be surprised. He seems to know a lot of stuff that not normal people know about. Bro doesn't eat with a plate. It's because he fucking throws the plates at the wall. As Feliz Navidad as racist as pinatas, it can be. It can be.
According to some.
Perhaps. I think he was just... Because he was at least dating a Puerto Rican girl. Because his daughter's half Puerto Rican, right? So
Mexican,
like, you know,
I think.
Oh, is it Mexican?
I think Mexican.
Man, there could be some trauma from that. You get shanked. Cracker ass fantastic. by Dark Nasty. I fell in love with a gangster bitch, a chola chick that'll shank your dick. I'm from Beverly Hills, she from South Central. It's just a funny song about a nerdy white guy falling in love with like a gangster Puerto Rican chick.
Jose Feliciano.
White Christmas is kind of racist. I mean, maybe to aliens. McRib is not available, so I have to be trashy another way. Vodka and hot dogs. That sounds delicious. Soak the hot dog in vodka and then cook it. I thought John was proven to be a snork, says Al Greg. There's a good chance.
I mean, he seems very snorkish.
I mean, snorks can be a form of aliens, though.
Yeah, I mean, what officially is a snork? A sea monkey?
Yeah. My flight just got canceled. Oh, no, Namfoodle. That seems to be going on all over the place. Alan! What's good, Alan? Hope you have a great Christmas, too, brother. Yeah, it seems like, I don't know. The government was like, we don't want people to have a nice Christmas. Get those heart machines going. Let's fuck the whole United States up here with the weather. There's a rabbit hole if you ever want to go down it.
Oh, God.
I don't really believe it, but it is an interesting theory. You ever looked at it?
Oh.
The heart machines can control the weather and stuff like that. I mean, you never know. Oh, you got Crisis Core, Dwan? Nice. Let me know how it is. Because I wanted to get it. That was going to be my Christmas game that I was going to play over at my grandma's, but I guess I could buy it digitally on the Switch. And then just get it physical. I don't feel like that's, going to be like a super rare physical game.
Nah, I doubt it will be.
You want it to snow in Florida? You really don't, though. That's why people go to Florida.
And doesn't it? If it snows like 2 inches in Florida, it shuts down the whole state.
Let me fucking tell you, North Carolina, you would get a half an inch of snow and it was pandemonium. I would see a snowflake fall on the ground and I would leave work and they're like, why are you leaving? And I was like, because I understand how these people are and these people drive and they don't know what they're doing. And I remember I had my old C43. It was a 98, so I mean it wasn't a new one or anything, but it was rear wheel drive. And I guess my back tires were just bald as fuck because I was trying to take a corner because that's when I was living with my buddy and his parents. And I was trying to get to the house and I'm sitting at a stoplight and it's time for me to make my left and I'm just like, come on, motherfucker, go!
Man, I remember it was in high school. We had 7 in the morning. We already had like 6.5 inches of snow on the ground, and my school didn't cancel class. So I'm like, shit, I gotta drive to school. By noon, we got like an additional 6 inches of snow. And the school's like, okay, we're gonna let you out early. Like, I have to now drive home in a foot of snow. All because this is the dumbest school district in the state.
So I will say the one benefit about living in the Northeast, though, is when it does snow, it's...
Oh, we got plows.
Yeah, it's like 2 seconds later, the plow's already out there and shit.
Yeah.
North Carolina, they didn't have any of that shit. So you get, an inch or two of snow, and, like, there'd be, like, cars on fire on the side of the road, and every store is looted for bread and milk and stuff, because everyone's gonna make milk bread sandwiches and shit. Like, it was fucking chaos. And the power would go out, too. Like, I've had, since I've been living up back in the Northeast, I've been up here 3-4 years now, never lost power in any of these massive storms that we've had, foot of snow or something like that. No, it's fine. People are out driving 10 hours later because they've already plowed the roads and stuff. It's crazy, dude. Texas doesn't even have the grid for that mess with ERCOT.
Nah, you guys get like below freezing and the whole state loses power for a month.
That's why I'm like, all right, living in the Northeast, yeah, I got to pay property taxes. Yeah, I got to pay some state taxes. But at least when it fucking snows, there's some motherfucker out there plowing the street and my power stays on. I will pay the extra prices for that. I remember when I lived in North Carolina, I was working at Eckerd, and it was snowing, so nobody went to work, and they called me, and they were like, can you come to work today? And I was like, no, I can't. And I hung up the phone. They called the house phone, and I walked out in the living room. I was like, who's that? I was like, oh, it was Eckerd. What do they want? I was like, well, they asked if I could come to work today, but I told them it wasn't comfortable driving in the snow. Like, you're not missing work today. Like, what are you talking about? Just get your ass in that car. And we had the Ford Explorer, and this was before I had souped it all up and shit. He's like, I'll drive you to work and I'll pick you up. And I'm like, no. And he's like, yes, get in the car. Get in the car right now. And he fucking drove me to work, and I was the only person there. We had like 3 people come in the whole day. And then he came and picked me up when we closed. And he's like, see, you got paid to do nothing, didn't you? Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah. Still, rather not have gone in.
Well, yeah, you got to play the property tax, because we got fucking mill rates and shit. You got to play it. So that was one thing I actually looked at before I bought my places. I would always look at the previous property taxes for all the places that I looked at, so I'd have a general idea. And the place I got is actually very, very fair for property tax. Comparative, it's actually cheaper than my grandparents is. And so, like, because they were telling me how much theirs was, and they were like, you know, you're gonna pay probably this amount. And then I found this place, and I'm like, how's it less? And I was like, I don't know. I don't ask questions. They send me a bill, and I looked at it, and that's the price. Nicotine. I remember. Review Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry. Jesus Christ, that would get demonetized.
It's a good game.
I stayed at my uncle's house, and he lived in like a higher, not plateau. What's the word I'm looking for? It's higher than other places. It's very, very hilly, a mountainous region. And I stayed the night over there, and this was after, I believe this was after my aunt had left him. So it was just me, him, and my cousin, who is the Puerto Rican girl. And we had like no food in the house, and we were starving. So he was like, all right, get some shoes on. We're walking to Burger King. And I was like, dude, there's so much snow on the ground. He's like, nah, it'll be fine. And I'm like, all right. So we're walking, and me and him are doing fine. And there's my cousin just being a lazy slug, because she used to be kind of a bigger girl. And especially for like her age, she was only like, I want to say 9 or 10 at this time. And we were walking, and like I turn around and just look, because she was kind of far behind us. And I look, and she just goes like this, just falls flat on her face into the snow. And I'm like, Jeff, she fell. He turns around and he's like, get up, Fatima, let's go. We're going to Burger King. I just started laughing so hard. I'm like, dude, that's so fucked up. He's like, I need food. I'm starving. And she had like little tears coming out of her eyes. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm just pissed off, because you couldn't drive, dude. It was we were walking. It had to be like a foot of snow. There was no cars on the road. Luckily, the Burger King, I don't know if they lived in that Burger King or what, but that Burger King was still open, and we ate a fucking feast there, and then we had to walk, and it was so bad, because it's just like, it's the same town my cousin lives in now, that same cousin, and like nobody likes to go there, even though it's only like 20 minutes away. It's just like, it's so hilly, and like it's just weird, and it's like it's like a third world country out there, but like it was so funny.
See, this is before the days of DoorDash, people.
Yeah.
You wanted that food, and you couldn't drive, you had to walk.
We got so much goddamn food that day, though. Because like I remember he had a 94 Saturn, and like the whole front end of it, the left front end of it, the driver's side, was like bashed in because somebody had hit him. And I was like, there's no fucking way we're making it in the snow in this fucking car.
You guys walked in like Homer and Ned Flanders when they were officing, give me 1,000 Whoppers.
I love Burger King, man. Burger King is definitely a guilty pleasure for me. How do you get an autographed picture of me? I don't know. The Omega Red, you don't need that. It's worthless. Yeah, the Whopper's still on point, man. I remember my bus driver in 8th grade who was kind of crazy. She said that because we always just cut up on the bus and like smoke cigarettes in the back, because we were the first stop to get picked up. We were the first spot to get picked up and the first spot to get dropped off, which was kind of nice, but you had to wake up mad early. She started yelling at us one day, and we were like, shut the fuck up, bitch. And she was like, done seen some things. I done thrown a snake into a fire once, and it had a head, and the head started looking at me, and it started talking to me. And we all got real quiet, and we were like, yo, this lady's crazy. And then one day, I went through the Burger King drive-thru with my mom, and she was at the thing. I'm like, you work here? And she was like, yeah, I drive the bus, and then I work at Burger King. I was like, wow, that must be cool. You know, thinking, you know, you just, I mean, when you're a kid, you're like, okay, so you just drive a bus, you pick up a bunch of kids, you drop them off, you got the whole afternoon to yourself, you go back, you pick them up, you drop them off again, and then you go to Burger King. You probably get like an employee discount or something.
That's true. Yeah, to a kid, that's like living the life. Drive for a couple of hours, get some food, get some Happy Meals or whatever Burger King called them.
I'll get
take some of those Crowns home.
Whopper with cheese, extra pickle, no onion, standard fry, and orange soda. That was my thing.
Orange soda is awesome.
Yeah, it really is. I think I might have a can or two of Crush under the sink as well. I'll have to ration that out. I have a copy of Star Fox sealed casual noob.
What are your thoughts on grape soda though?
I can't drink a lot of it, but I can drink like most sodas. I could drink like back to back to back. A grape soda, I can only have one.
Yeah, like I enjoy grape soda here and there. But
Zevia actually has a pretty good grape soda. I got a fruity pack that came with the black cherry, which is what I normally drink. I was just in a hurry, and Amazon didn't have any of the black cherries in stock. They had this fruity pack, so I got that. It came with that strawberry, which is pretty good, orange, and grape. And I actually liked all of them. I do. Oh, Crisis Core is on sale at GameStop for $40. Oh, makes me
already?
Oh, so makes me want to go and get it. Yeah, Dwan just picked it up. Yeah, I saw the Cowabunga collection. Yeah, they added online to Turtles SNES, which was actually one of my complaints. If you go and watch my video, I was like, why does this not have it? They're different games. But that online is sketchy at best. I don't know if they've improved it. If they have, then fuck.
Yeah, it'd be awesome if they improved it.
I'd say we'd run that some tonight. Are you playing tonight?
Yeah, if we hop on tonight, I'll jump on for some sessions.
Yeah, I'll hop on after the Knicks game because I'm not. Knicks play at 7:30, so it should be done by 10. Yeah, Quentin Grimes is available to play. Let's go. Where's that? I prayed for moments like this. Picture. Dying Light is $20. That's a
pretty good price.
Yeah, that's one of the best Switch ports. That was actually something we talked about because John brought up that stupid ass fucking topic you wanted to bring up.
I am kind of glad I wasn't there for that.
It was.
I think having Hives and Assist explode were somehow better than having to sit through that.
Like it was just. It's like, no, John, it's a Wii U game. How is it the most impressive Switch game? Like, some people say it's like, no. I can name you other games that are more impressive. How do I feel about the
thing?
That's I don't like the
like what's the quantifier on impressive? What's the standard being used as this measurement?
Exactly. Okay, he tried to make it like the world size and stuff like that. It's like, but the world is devoid of a lot of things. You chop down any tree you want. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, great. And I mean,
yeah. Even OJ didn't quite agree with it. He said another game, and I bet you could guess what that game is.
First party or third party?
First party.
Xenoblade.
Yep. Streets of Rage 4 or Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Both are on sale here. Yep, I mostly play solo. Help. That's tough because Streets of Rage 4 has a little more meat on the bones. There's more unlockable content. But if you love Ninja Turtles, you'll have a big stupid smile on your face the entire time you play it. And you can play with randos online. You don't have to just play with, friends or anything like that. I feel like Streets of Rage 4 will give you a little bit more bang for your buck though. But if you have any nostalgia for the Turtles, because subjectively, Streets of Rage 4 probably is a more complete package than Shredder's Revenge, but I love Ninja Turtles from that time frame, so it's like that wins by default for me. You really can't go wrong with either game, though.
Yeah, there's no wrong decision between those two.
I saw someone bought their brother a copy of Minish Cap for $125 as a Christmas gift. That's a good brother.
God.
That's crazy that game is that much. I'm pretty sure I have that game like in a drawer somewhere. I need to.
Yeah, I got that game complete in box somewhere.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, 6 o'clock, you filthy animals. You got it out of me. We're gonna wrap things up here because I'm on fucking 3 hours of sleep anyways. I don't know what's going on, but you're all gonna do me a solid. We're gonna watch the holiday video. We're gonna bump those views up. We're gonna bump those likes up. We're gonna bump those shares up because I did it for you. I did not do this for myself because I hated it. I hated everything about it. The music was okay. Some of the boss battles, I didn't hate the designs, but the way you played the game made me hate the designs. It should have just been fucking Knights, okay? When you played Knights, you didn't play as the child. You played as a child for 2 seconds, and then you became Knights, this androgynous character. In this game, they have the same sort of androgynous character, but you play as the child the whole time in these stupid fucking suits. I don't understand it. Why was this the decision that they made? That's pretty much a preview for the video. It's just 20 minutes of that. just fucking questioning everything they did with the game. Knights has not been mid. Knights has not been mid. No, you stop that. Knights is greatness. All right, folks.
They're baiting you.
Oh, I just knocked my headphones. Now I can't hear anything. What's going on? God damn it. Now it's all coming out of one ear. Why did I play it if I won the bet? Because it's my Christmas gift to you people.
Yes, he suffered for you.
I'm like Jesus.
It's bad that we both went to that same place.
God damn it. There we go. I did say that Balan needs to be pinned to the cross, though. Thank you to everyone who came through for the Christmas special. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys go watch this video here. Share it with their friends. Share it on the Twitters. Share it everywhere. I will be back Monday-ish, maybe Tuesday, just depending. Everyone have a safe and Merry Christmas. Thank you to everyone who came through. Thank you to all you guys for the donations. You guys are fucking crazy. Thank you to everyone who's a channel member. You guys are awesome. You help keep this channel alive and thriving. 2023 is nearly here. Got some fun ideas coming up. Expanding the content a little bit. Gonna start reviewing other games for other systems because I feel like it's time. And I'm just kind of getting bored with doing the same old, same old. Nate, anything you'd like to add?
Yep, everyone have a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
Be safe. There is a Spodcast tomorrow. It's pre-recorded. I don't know if John's doing content this weekend. He probably is because he's throwing plates at his family right now as we speak. But yeah, everyone be safe. Be blessed. Go check out the new video. I love all